Good day, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. This is Viper of Viperland, and I'm here, hopefully, going to finish up the entire Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy tonight. I hope. We'll see. Could be wrong. To be fair, I don't know for sure that this is the final bit. It just feels vibing that way, so we'll find out. Yeah. I've been wrong before when it's been like, oh yeah, this case will end at this bit. I've been wrong. So, who knows? Who knows? But we still got 4 hours. See how it goes. February 10th, 1 to 6 p.m., District Court. Because it never seems to go... No court case in Ace Attorney can go, like, short. But, like, that's the whole point. Now then, let's continue where we left off, shall we? Well, witness? Yes, how can I help you, Mr. Judge? Well, it seems that if we're to learn the truth, we need to hear your testimony. I have no problem with that. When you've seen what I have, sometimes the truth is better left unknown. In any case, let's hear your testimony. Tell us about the plan that was carried out that night. The plan. The whole plan began with my death. As all good plans do. Stupid plan hatched by Morgan Fay to install her own daughter as the next master. But for it to work, Maya Fay would first have to die. The idea was for me to kill Maya and then have the blame pinned on Iris. The plan went wrong, but it seems to have succeeded anyway. Task failed successfully. So that means you really are... Wait a minute. Did you just say the plan was to kill Maya Fay? Yes. You have a problem with that? Yes, we do. Don't give us that nonsense. There's no way that... Watch yourself, Trey. Got a problem? Solve it during cross-examination. It's one of my rules. Why do we have to listen to your rules? You're not the judge. Damn it, Judge. Mr. Godot is correct. And by the way, that's one of my rules as well. To kill Maya. Could it be true? Oh yeah, I forgot how low on HP we were. Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. Not like I'm going to screw anything up. Executed last month, correct? Yes, I was hanged. It wasn't exactly pleasant. How did you manage to discuss the plan? When did you talk with Morgan Fay? Last year, she was transferred to the same detention center as me. Since I was on death row and she was my mother, it was actually pretty easy to meet with her. I see. So that's when you discussed the plan. Huh. Are you crazy? First, that woman was planning to kill me as well, even though I'm her own daughter. All to make Pearl Fay the master of Kurion. She's a cold, twisted woman. She thought she could finally regain her lost honor. It's clear that the apple don't fall far from the tree. The pearl does, though. The pearl falls a good, long, big distance away from the tree. The honor she lost when her younger sister, Misty, took her place as the master. Ever since that day, she's been working on this plan. Plan, huh? Thanks, Judge. Gotta loop it back to the next line. Talking about Pearl Fay, is that correct? Yes, though first she had high hopes for the two of us. Even your twin sister, Iris. That's correct. Fortunately, neither of us had much spiritual power. That's why we were abandoned by her, along with our father. Abandoned? The only person I ever really cared about in life was myself. My sister was a nuisance, so I convinced my father to leave her at an old temple. That's some harsh, like, she annoyed me, so I convinced Dad to just kick her out. Yes, my father remarried a woman who also had a daughter. The less children you have, the more money there is to go around, right? And on top of that, my father had absolutely no interest in children in general. Why did he keep having children? How horrible. The really horrible one was that woman. That bitter, vengeful woman. I mean, it's one of the few things I can agree with Dahlia on. One of the very few things I can agree with her on. Her stubbornness that gave birth to that child, Pearl Fay. She was born with an abundance of spiritual power, fortunately for her. Morgan Fay heaped all of her broken hopes and dreams onto that poor child's back, all because of her pathetic dreams of having her bloodline become the main family. I don't know where we're going to find a contradiction here, other than, you know, Maya would have to die, but why? For our bloodline to succeed as the main family, thus making Pearl the new master. The remaining descendants of the current master had to be taken care of. But Pearls would never agree to a plan like that. She adores Maya. That's sad. I don't get it, do you? What Pearl wanted had nothing to do with it. Morgan didn't care one bit about Pearl. The only thing she cared about was the position of the master. That's all. That's ridiculous. She's willing to sacrifice anything and anyone to achieve her goal. We know this. She's killed before. We did that trial. The life of her daughter, and naturally the life of Maya Fey as well. How could anyone do that? You know. You were going to kill Maya? Pearl didn't need to know anything about it. All she had to do was follow the instructions in the letter and channel me. And I would have simply used her body and finished the job. In any case, I'm already dead, and there's nothing any of you can do to me. The plan was to blame the crime on your younger twin, Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple. She and I look absolutely identical. No one can tell us apart. If someone were to witness me killing Maya, naturally they would think it was Iris that had done it. And the witness of this case was the head nun, Sister Bikini. Never would have guessed she was going to return to Hazakura Temple that night. But she wound up seeing Iris's crime anyway. Why did you want to pin the murder on Iris in the first place? She's your twin sister, isn't she? Yeah, the twin sister she already admitted to caring so little about that she wanted her kicked out of the family so that her dad would have more money to spend on herself. Twin sister? Don't make me laugh. She's nothing but a backstabber. I couldn't care less about her. Backstabber? Just don't understand. Never will. Anyway. Think the plan was a success? You heard me. Just as that woman had hoped. Maya Fey is dead. Now the title of the master will pass on to Pearl Fey. That's absurd. Maya's she's just trapped inside the sacred cavern. Really? As foolishly optimistic as ever, aren't you? My darling Feeny. Do you want to know the truth? Ever since we met, I've despised you. Your sniveling naivete and your pathetic faith in other people. Just want to know one thing. What did you personally think of Morgan Fey's plan? Told you already, didn't I? It was a stupid plan. It had no point, no value other than fulfilling her own greedy desires. Yes, it was clearly nothing to be proud of. That's how you feel? Why did you help her carry it out? Why would you do it? Why would you kill Maya? I may not understand it, being the kind and gentle soul that you are, but I just like to kill people. And now that I can't be punished for it, why not? You may not be able to appreciate why someone like me would help a woman like that. So then tell me, why? Isn't it obvious? I'm not like that woman. I only act in my own self-interest. The reason I helped her was for myself. For my own personal satisfaction. What did you say? This woman, Dahlia Hawthorne. She had her own reason for wanting Maya dead. I don't know where I can contradict here. Obviously, it's because you were helping Morgan Fey. Don't make me laugh. From the day I was born to the day I died, I never helped anyone. I believe that truthfully. Yep. Lived for myself, and in the end, I died for myself. Thought that was obvious. So she wasn't actually cooperating with Morgan. She was just using Morgan and her plan so she could accomplish her own goal. All I wanted to do was kill Maya Fey. That was the only way I could think of to get revenge. Revenge? It's like I have no choice but to present that piece of evidence. Yeah, can't believe it. She meant to kill Maya. You keep a cool head. And I need to get more information out of her. Only way to understand the... Okay, so I know where to present the evidence then. But like... Obviously we're saving, because I don't currently know, but I haven't taken a good look either. Definitely not.
It's ramen.
Definitely not. Hey, Ramen. Welcome to... I'm probably stuck already, but we're going to take a look at the evidence and find out. How you doing? Happy Superb Owl Sunday. don't think it's the letter. Pretty sure it's not. I mean, it is the last case, yes. This again. Not helping. She did it for herself. She wanted to punish. Kill Maya Fey. Kill Maya Fey now, what my goal was. No. She's only doing it for her, but she's dead. Like, why? She doesn't care about the family in any way. There's no amount of prestige or whatever that matters to her. She doesn't care about her sister. She doesn't care about Pearls. She doesn't care about anyone. Why does she want Maya Fey dead that badly? Did they ever actually, like, cross paths? He and Maya Fey ever met? So the trial where we were younger Phoenix was before we met Maya. Maybe she's mad at her sister? Maybe that's the only way she could get back at Mia? For being part of that case and getting her killed? That's the best stretch I got so far. Already saved, so why not? That's the only lot. Like, I'll take a peek at the other ones again anyway. But there's the only thing I can think of that, like, it doesn't matter. The map. She doesn't care about the bloodline, so Misty Faye wouldn't matter. Same with that, like, she wouldn't matter. Weather doesn't. None of this applies to Maya in the sense of giving a motive. It's gotta be. Right? Right? Could it be that your actual goal had nothing to do with Maya Fey herself? I said, none of you have the power to punish me anymore, because I'm already dead. Well, I had the same problem, you see. You can't punish the dead, and you can't take revenge against them either. Hey, I got it right! Look at that! Every now and again, the old brain actually works. Wanted to take revenge on someone. Was sentenced to die because of that woman. Mia Fey. Somehow knew this was it. Wanted to send her a message. It was at her hands that I suffered my first humiliation. Wanted her to feel the same pain she made me feel. Sadly, when I realized revenge was impossible, I gave up. The reason it was impossible? Was it perhaps because Mia Fey had already died? Yes, and I realized there's only one way to take revenge against the dead. How do you do that? Even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on, forever. I wanted to take away the person that Mia Fey loved most. I wanted to kill her with my own hands. It would be the one and only way I could take my revenge against Mia Fey. That was the reason I helped out with that woman's plans. Just for that. For that you would kill my... Yes, clearly she would. I mean, I'm not saying I agree with her, but I'm saying she has been unsubtle about all of her motivations so far. And now that she is absolutely unpunishable, she ain't hiding nothing. Your goal was no different than that of Morgan... Wrong. 100% wrong. Morgan Fay's goal was to have her family be the main bloodline. Dahlia Hawthorne's goal was punish Mia by killing the only person she loves, or the person she loves the most. they needed the same thing to happen, but their goals were wildly different. Still both evil. Still both required murdering an innocent. But different. As they say, the apple... I've said that like 9 times already. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, but I must reinforce. The pearl clearly rolled a good long ways away from the tree. The apple stayed. The pearl rolled away. What a cruel plan. Cruel, cold, and heartless. Don't waste your time preaching to the dead. I've already told you, there's not a thing you can do to me. At night. About 9:30 p.m., I materialized into this world. Quickly pinned my hair up, put on a demon-warding hood. Then I picked up the staff that was by my side and left Hazakura Temple. So, it was at least Do-Nothing who channeled her after all. We're setting off fireworks. The game must be happening. I mean, I know it's happening, but somebody must be happy with the outcome, or just have an excess of fireworks. Jeez. Yeah, those are happening. Sounds freaking close. What the hell? Pull my headphones off and it immediately stops, of course. That ridiculous head nun never noticed a thing. She left Maya Fey at the inner temple and wobbled back, clutching her poor old back. What did you do then? It was easier to handle than I had hoped. Caught up with her in front of the stone lantern. Then I took out the dagger I got from the storeroom and... So then you're saying you stabbed Maya? Strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. What does that mean? No clear memory. Oh no. I think I was stabbed. You were stabbed? At the last minute, Maya Fey must have stabbed me. I'm sure of it. Not like her at all. Maya wouldn't stab a French fry with a plastic fork. I believe that, but I believe that that is because her aim sucks, not because of any caring about the fry. Also, hey Sora, how's it going? Happy Super Bowel indeed. Hope you're having a good day. Welcome to Viperland in the chat. Anyway, I suddenly lost consciousness. But before I did, I scrawled her name on the lantern. Just as I was passing out, I wrote Maya behind my back. Hoped it would cast suspicion on her. I can't believe she was thinking of that until the bitter end. That's when my memory temporarily stops. Stops? Don't have any memory of actually killing Maya Fey with my own 2 hands. My very last memory was Maya's terror-filled eyes. When I woke up after that, I was in a sacred cavern surrounded by darkness. You're in a sacred cavern? The entrance was sealed with one of those trick locks. Somehow I had been trapped in there. But how did he wind up in there? I'd like to know that myself. Anyway, I was worried. Didn't know whether or not Maya Fey was dead. I swore I wouldn't return to the underworld until I knew I'd killed her myself. For a ghost, you're one tough cookie. I wanted to get out of there and make sure she was dead, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't get out. Trick lock stopped you, huh? Don't know how to remove it. So then you're saying you were actually confined against your will inside the sacred cavern? Yes, I wanted to get rid of that annoying lock as soon as possible, but it wasn't easy. I kept getting interrupted while I was working on it. Interrupted? It was early in the morning, but someone came into the training hall. What? Who? Could it have been Maya? Thought the same thing. I couldn't see. Why not? If someone had spotted me, I would have lost my chance to take revenge. So I made sure to hide myself well at the back of the sacred cavern. Warning, only 2 people could have gone into the training hall. Maya and Charles. Pearls went there to cover the hanging scroll and gravy in the greatest misunderstanding of all video game history. Still, I finally managed to remove the lock. It was too late. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Files had already started to gather. The flies, not files. Wow. Okay, that's fine. Why so many? The bridge had been fixed, and the police had started their investigation. Correct? Naturally, I couldn't go out. So instead, I returned to the cavern and put the lock back on myself. I realized I wouldn't get a chance to see Maya's corpse as I had hoped. But just then, Lady Luck showed up. Lady Luck? After that big earthquake, she showed up all by herself. The real Iris? She said she'd come to make sure the sacred cavern was alright. Stupid girl. Came out from the sacred cavern and got a feel for the situation. I locked her away in my place. I had finally learned exactly what had happened. It was then that I learned that the plan had actually succeeded. What do you mean, your plan had succeeded? I misunderstood one thing, you see. That night, the one that had summoned me, I assumed that it was Pearl Faye. Well, of course you would have assumed that. It was written in the instructions. But I was wrong. The person that had actually called my spirit back was Misty Faye, picture book author. What? Well, it's really the only possibility, isn't it? For I lost consciousness in the garden. It was her body that was left lying there. Faye. I wasn't able to kill her with my own hands after all. But even so, I made her commit the most vile sin a human can commit. That is, matricide, the sin of killing her own mother. Way! Order! Order in the court! What is the meaning of this? It's true that I was the one who attacked Maya Faye, but even so, the murderer who actually stuffed out Misty Faye's life was none other than your darling little Maya. Man, there are so many layers of no to this. Like, even if it happened exactly as described minus Dahlia, that is so obviously self-defense. Like, it is so blatantly somebody was attacking her with clear intent to kill. Clear and stated intent to kill. Like, add in the fact that her body was literally being possessed, which the courts know is a known thing that can happen. Hell, it's happening right here. Not only, it is super tragic that both the actual parties involved really had no choice in the matter. But, like, you can't just do this and be like, she's a murderer, hang her, put her in prison for life, mission accomplished. Like, no, not at all. Ridiculous. That's nonsense. Are you sure about that? Just think about it. There's even evidence supporting these facts, isn't there? What? What do you mean? What is this so-called evidence? The fact that Maya Faye has disappeared is evidence enough, isn't it? Huh? The idea that she's still in the sacred cavern is just ridiculous. She wasn't able to escape from the inner temple, that much is obvious. In that case, there's only one place she could be. Where? I have to spell it out. The bottom of the Eagle River. Where else? Eagle River? Maya Faye killed her long-lost mother. Can you imagine the guilt she must have felt when she realized that? That's why she threw herself into the Eagle River. Most bodies that wind up in there are lost forever. So, what do you have to say now? Feeny. This entire game might as well just be titled like Phoenix Wright. Dahlia Hawthorne sucks. You know, gotta get the phone call. Oops. Sorry, that's my phone. What kind of a ringtone is that? Who judges somebody on their ringtone these days? Like, come on. It's vague music. It's not. I don't know. Godot here. Okay, thanks. Was it something important? I just finished removing the locks from the sacred cavern. That's great! What about Maya? There was a woman in the cave. Was it Maya Come on, dude! You know what you're doing! Don't do that! It was the accused, Sister Iris. Oh. Oh. That's not good. That's suboptimal. So that would mean Maya's in the room then, wouldn't it? And at some point, Dahlia will realize that, and that's gonna be a problem. Don't look so surprised. I locked her in there yesterday. Oh, that's true. She did say that, didn't she? Crap, so she already knows. Crap! Double crap. Crapzilla. So, what about Maya? Where is she? There's no one else found inside the sacred cavern. No! It can't be. Told you, didn't I? He's dead. Well, okay. Go with the she's dead theory. Then who's channeling right now? The only other person it could be Sister Bikini. Like, it is either Pearls, which we know it's not, because if she's been in this body since, like, yesterday. It ain't Pearls, because we talked to her. It ain't Bikini, since we talked to her. The list of people it could feasibly be is very finite and is now one person. It seems that this case has come to... Then no, it hasn't, you stupid judge! Tragic, and you dumb bastard! Why not ask the singular question left of... Wait a second, who's channeling you right now? Why just be like, well, she says she's dead, there's nobody in the cavern. Just gonna... That's it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not Maya, but like I feel like there are very few people who could actually be channeling her right now, and it's one person. Sadly, it appears the killer of Elise Do Nothing, also known as Misty Faye, was her own daughter, Maya Faye. Overcome with guilt for what she had done, even though we have zero evidence to prove this, Maya Faye jumped to her death into the raging waters of the Eagle River. The only evidence we have towards this is the stipulation of a person who has really proven and stated as much that her only goal is basically harming others. Can't be. Is he the only one smart enough to have figured it out? Try it. You ever heard this one? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth, no matter how improbable it may seem. Yeah, he's the only one that's put two and two together, that's it. But what is that supposed to mean, Prosecutor Godot? According to this witness, Maya Faye threw herself into the Eagle River. However, is that really the truth? Remember, this woman testified earlier that the bridge was already on fire when the murder was taking place in the garden. Which means if Maya had thrown herself into the river, it must have been from the inner temple side near the bridge. That's right, that's where she jumped from. That's impossible. It's impossible to jump into the river from there. What? Don't get your panties all twisted up, right? Just relax and think through the whole thing again. I like how they're approaching this from the entirely wrong angle. She couldn't have jumped into there because it was impossible because of something, not... She has to be in this room because there is no one else who could be channeling her now. It's... You know, they want to... Clearly, they want to see... If you haven't figured it out, they want to hold on to that. Watch me be wrong. If I'm sitting here and I'm wrong about this whole thing, I'm going to get to the end and be like... Oh, it was me who was dumb the whole time. So it's impossible. Maya couldn't have thrown herself into the Eagle River. Well, Mr. Wright, I don't know. Let's give us a real quick. Miss Hawthorne claims Miss Fay threw herself into the river from the inner temple side. Do you have any evidence that refutes this claim? Why is it always us? Because she wouldn't land in the river, she'd land on the bank? Yeah. Because she'd land... I don't know whether to show... this is probably the one to show for it. I am sure that's the reason, I think. I am confident in that being the reason. I am unconfident as to which one of the two they want us to show. I'm going to show this one. It's impossible to jump into the Eagle River from the inner temple side. No one knows that better than this witness. What did you say? 11 years ago, you jumped into the very same river. Just take a look at this overhead map. Oh, thank goodness. As you can see, below the cliff on the inner temple side is a big rock shelf. Oh. Oh, you're right. She wouldn't have reached the river if she had jumped off from there. In other words, if she had jumped, we should be able to see her body in this photo. Oh, so it might have worked with either of them. Huh. Huh. So you finally figured it out. You... No! I wonder... Is it possible that she doesn't know? Is it possible that Dahlia hasn't put it together? Again, the problem being, as soon as she does, she's going to be like, alright. You're just playing with me. Maya Fay's body's at the bottom of the Eagle River. There's nowhere else she could possibly be hiding. Miss Hawthorne, have you ever heard this one before? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Yes, just a few minutes ago. Maya Fay wasn't inside the sacred cavern. We now know that she didn't throw herself into the Eagle River. Again, I like how, like, we arrived at the same conclusion from totally opposite angles. Like, I just went process of elimination. They went process of elimination. You know. It eliminates all the most likely possibilities. Now, although it seems improbable, there's still one other place she could be. What? What is this one possibility you're talking about? That's obviously a blow. So where's her dead body then? Finally, I think the pieces are falling into place. Normally, the living have no way to punish the dead. I think there's a way to give Dahlia Hawthorne the... No! Because she's just gonna be like, cool. Bind her hands first? Maybe? Just think. I know the gotcha moment's gonna be great, but like, just think for a second. Because the thing she wants more than anything is to kill Maya Fay with her own hands. Just be careful, man. Just be careful, okay? We've proven that this is not the speediest reacting courtroom in history, so just think. So I tell you where Maya is at this very instant. Maya Fay is in this very courtroom. There's only one possibility left. Namely, she's right here in this very courtroom. What? Maya Fay is here. Wait, did Godot not put it together? Or is he just overreacting? Because, like, he's the only one that seems to have a grasp on things. Say she's here in my courtroom. Dahlia Hawthorne. I seem to recall that you said I had misunderstood one thing, you see. So what? I think there's one more thing you misunderstood. What do you mean? Tell me something. At this very moment, who is channeling Dahlia Hawthorne? Why, that's obvious. That's Pearl Fay, a pathetic little sniveling runt. If it was Pearl Fay, her hair would be a different color. You're wrong. Pearls tried, but she couldn't do it. Someone called me before Pearl did, but who? Pearls even tried again on the day after the crime. But she couldn't do it. What could that mean? I think the truth is becoming clearer to you right about now. Am I correct? Was it Pearls that channeled you? Someone who called you... we get it! It's fine. You'll make me do it, but, like, fine. They add all these in case I accidentally hit the wrong button or something, and it just boots me back to the menu. It's an easy one. Pearls couldn't do it. Misty Fate's gone. There's only one possibility left. Come on already! I can't stand the tension. Dahlia Hawthorne, the person channeling you right now must be Maya Fey. What? How could that be? Remember what this witness Dahlia Hawthorne said about her goal. She said that her goal is to kill Maya Fey. Yes, that's right. But if Maya channeled the spirit of someone that was trying to kill her... Well, Gramps, what would happen? It'd be... Looks like you finally understand, Your Honor. Don't. What are you going on about? What I'm going on about is the reason Maya channeled you. It's only one reason. To protect herself from you. To protect herself? From me? Yes. On the night of the crime, you were only interested in one thing. Killing Maya Fey. The path back to Hazakura was closed off and there was nowhere for her to run. So then, the problem became, where would be the safest place to hide? Ah. You mean, since you channeled me? All this time you thought you had been channeled by Pearls. That's why it never occurred to you. That Maya's hiding place was you. No. No. Don't say that. You're saying that Dahlia Hawthorne, was played for a fool by that little whelp. Are being played. Not past tense. It's still happening. Maya Fey killed herself. Isn't it obvious? Sorry, but no. It would have been impossible for her to jump into the Eagle River. This was the only avenue of escape open to Maya. The only way that Maya could disappear from the inner temple. I don't believe you. A stupid little girl like that has never been out in the real world. She'd never have come up with a plan like that. Who could have ever given her such a brilliant idea? Well, me, of course. Ah, well... Wait, was Pearl sitting right next to us? Wouldn't that be enough evidence? She probably just entered the courtroom is probably what happened. I don't think she was actually there the entire time. I imagine... Don't worry, she just snuck in. Nobody heard the door open. Don't overthink it. It's fine. Mia! Mia Fey. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. It's true. It was you. Yes. There's something else. But what? What are you doing here? That hair. It's Pearls, right? There's something, Dahlia. I want you to think back to that night one more time. You had just cornered Maya in the inner temple's garden, and then, in the final moments of the fight, you lost consciousness. I was stabbed by Maya Fey. Actually, Maya lost consciousness at the same time as you. Did? Not terribly surprising, since she was about to be killed. Everyone just... I'm glad that both parties went, oh, this is too stressful, and just passed out. Sorry, lots of narrating. Need drink. When she woke up, she was in the training hall. That's when Maya decided she needed help. So she channeled me. She explained in a memo the situation she was in. She asked me what I thought she should do. She did that? Can't believe it. Of course, I didn't have all the details, but one thing was perfectly clear. And that was, I knew that you couldn't be allowed to wander free. Free? What do you mean? It was a race against time, so I wrote down 2 things that Maya had to do. Channel Dahlia Hawthorne as soon as possible, and lock herself in the sacred cavern until help arrived. So it was Maya who put that lock on there. Yes, but why did you order her to do those 2 things? If she hadn't done it, Dahlia Hawthorne would have been channeled by someone else. One Pearl Fay. Pearls? Yes, Pearl didn't properly understand the plan, so all she was trying to do was follow her mother, Morgan Fay's instructions. If she had succeeded in channeling Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit, things would have turned out very badly, to put it mildly. So that's how it was. Dahlia Hawthorne would have used the body of Pearl Fay to kill Maya at all costs. Yes, it certainly sounds like that was the intent all along. How dare you! I won't forget this. Let's just admit it, Dahlia Hawthorne. Your little plan was nothing but a big failure. Yes, another failure to add to the pile of shame, wouldn't you say? What do you mean, another? Think about it, Dahlia. Remember all your past crimes? Not a single one of them was a success. They all ended in failure. What? How dare you? 11 years ago. Fake kidnapping. Your very first crime. You got your hands on a $2 million diamond, but... After Terry Falls escaped and went to meet with Valerie Hawthorne, the truth was exposed. Shut your mouth, that wasn't my fault. That's because of that stupid oaf of a prisoner and that weakling of a policewoman. And then, 1 year later, he tried to kill me. Well, I'm still alive, but... you wound up killing someone else. Someone who's definitely not in this courtroom. As a result, you were sentenced to death. One stupid move after another for you, but it's no longer funny. Wipe that smug, happy-go-lucky smile off your face. And now this. You've messed up again. You let Maya Fay escape, even though she was right there in front of you. Just various angry sounds. Mia Fay. Mia Fay. Mia Fay! You spinster. She's dead. There's nothing you can do to hurt her the same way there's nothing she can do to hurt you. I'm supposed to kill Maya Fay like I swore I would. If only you had gotten this spiky-haired jerk the guilty verdict. I wouldn't have been hanged to death. True. But I think you finally understand, Dahlia Hawthorne. You will never defeat me. What? What did you say? Whether you're alive, dead, or somewhere in between, you will never defeat me. As long as I'm around, you're destined to lose for all of eternity. Damn. I remember what you said earlier in the trial. You said there was no way we could punish you, because you were already dead. What about it? Then you said, even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on, forever. It's very true, Dahlia. That's exactly the punishment you'll never be able to escape from. For all of eternity, you'll have to remain as Dahlia Hawthorne, a miserable, pathetic, weak creature who can never win at anything. Jeez. Also, hey May, how's it going? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. And for you, there's no escape from that, no hope of freedom. Even in death, you'll still be Dahlia Hawthorne. Since the day you were executed, the narrow bridge that once stretched out in front of you was burnt to a crisp. You're wrong. It can't be. No, it be. How could I lose to the likes of you? No longer matters. I don't care whether you win or lose anymore. The only thing I want is for you to come out of Maya's body right now. She's doing well. She's doing well. She's handling things normally, like a normal person would. Oh, okay. Oh. I'm not ready. Not ready to go. Well, doesn't seem like it matters. Bye. Good. Court of law, 100%. Oh, of course. Yeah, 100%. Yes. Could be worse. You could just be somebody who knows a lawyer. Apparently, they get it way worse than the actual lawyers. Nick? Sis? See, what you really want to be is a judge. Then you just go, really? Punk. That's it. Job done. Pay. Now then. I assume you are the real Iris? Yes, I was just rescued from the sacred cavern. I must say, you and your twin sister are indeed identical from what I can see. In any case, it appears that everything has finally been cleared up. Mr. Godot, what happened to Dahlia Hawthorne? You ask me, Your Honor. Looks like she went back to the hell she came from. Seems that Misty Faye wasn't the only victim of this crime. Maya Faye, as well as the young Pearl Faye, were also victims of this wicked and selfish plan. Yes, Your Honor. The tragedy of Medium Valley has finally come to an end, it seems. It would be best for everyone if no further attempt was made to channel that spirit. No kidding. That's true, yeah. It helps that by the second game he has the ability to confirm 100% whether they are innocent or guilty before taking the case. Before that, it's just going on vibes, you know? After that, he's like, yeah, they're not hiding anything when I ask them, are they guilty? So they are definitely not. Which is great, because some of those cases seem like, how could they possibly not at first glance? Yeah, I don't think I'm cut out for a job where a bad day on my part ruins somebody's life. Like, if I was a lawyer and I had an off day and somebody got a guilty verdict that was not guilty, that ruins somebody's life. Like, forever. Forever. Like, yeah. Your Honor? Yes, what is it? About this whole spirit medium thing? It's almost weird how comfortable you seem to be with the concept now. Well, to be frank, my younger brother is quite judgmental. He often criticizes me for not studying hard enough. He's right. You do be dumb. That's why I made a concentrated effort to study up on the Curian channeling technique. Hey, isn't that the New Year's issue of Occult? I've seen quite a few things in my many years on the bench, and in all that time I've finally learned this one thing. The judge learned one singular thing in all of his years. He finally learned one thing. Give it up for the judge, learning one singular thing. Yeah, Judge, great job. Each case is different. It takes place in its own world, if you will. In order to fully understand that world, first we have to immerse ourselves in it completely. And that's where my brother and I used to differ. Never thought of it that way. At any rate, it's time to pass judgment in the case of Iris of Hazakura Temple.
Objection!
Yeah, normally you'd think. I think he just rode on the coattails of his brother, who's Canadian for some reason. You're a little too fast for that gavel, Your Honor. What do you mean by that, Mr. Godot? This trial. It isn't over yet. That's what he means. What? Right? Remember that Miss Evil Spirit? What Miss Evil Spirit said in her testimony? Huh? Dahlia's testimony. Okay, let's see. Just as Dahlia Hawthorne was about to attack Maya, she was stabbed and killed by someone. Yes, that's right. The person that was ultimately killed was the spirit medium that channeled Dahlia. At least do nothing. No, Misty Faye. But who killed her? Still don't know who did it. Have you not been around? That's my flashback voice. That's how flashbacks sound. Unless someone else is found guilty, the accused is still on trial. Can't let her walk until there's evidence that proves her innocence. No way! But this court isn't prepared for any further testimony. Prosecution is ready to call our final witness. Final witness? This one will clear up the whole mystery. Mystery of who killed Misty Faye. Indeed. Is it really alright, Mr. Prosecutor? Of course it's alright, Madam Attorney. Very well then. Who is this final witness? Isn't it obvious? One person who saw the whole event with the final dagger in this case. Someone who saw the murder take place? The very person who saw her mother killed in front of her own eyes. You mean Maya? You can't. You can't testify for what she's been through. Consider flashbacks too. Oh, of course, yeah. Or, I mean, if nothing else, they can remember 5 minutes ago, so they don't need to. We need to find the truth. Prosecution calls Maya Faye to the witness stand, and don't think she deserves a little bit of rest, recuperation, something? Very well. But first, we'll take a brief recess. We'll have to wait for Miss Faye to recover before summoning her. See, the judge may not be smart, but he occasionally has a heart, so, you know. Oh, 14 Echo Cell. Okay, fair. They don't want to necessarily. They don't have a choice. Once we receive the doctor's permission, we will proceed with the trial. Hey, Trey, got something to say to you, so listen up. What is it? I don't think much of you as a lawyer. Yeah, we noticed. Always the same with you. Winning cases, proving things logically, refuting bad evidence, being right. You somehow managed to just squeak by without even a faint understanding of the case. So does the judge, to be fair. Some beautiful woman always seems to be dashing at the last minute to say he's not wrong. It's not some beautiful woman, it's the same beautiful woman. You've got some nerve. It's not gonna happen this time. This time, you're gonna have to do this by yourself. What are you gonna do? Remove Pearl from the... Enough. This court is now in recess. He's just mad we get results. He's talking to the player. Yeah, he is. Again, he's just mad we get results. It's whatever. Chill. Drink your 97,000th cup of coffee. Go poop your pants. He blames a lot of stuff on Phoenix that Phoenix does not deserve. He's actually still just salty that Mia died after knowing Phoenix, and that Phoenix wasn't the big manly man protector man that protected her from death. It's like two separate human beings. She got killed in her office on her time because she was finding out secrets she possibly shouldn't have been diving into, which was kind of her job, and it is still tragic she died, but it is just so nothing Phoenix could have done about it, and Godot does not believe that at all. Really sorry about everything. You were working so hard to defend me. I was missing all day, and we didn't even have a chance to talk. She's right. When I met Iris at the training hall yesterday, they had already switched places, and Iris was inside the sacred cavern. I wanted to at least be in the defendant's box today to root you on. Well, it wasn't your fault. You were locked up this whole time. Something more important than that, though. I have to ask you. Why did you help your sister out as much as you did? Huh? If you had tried to get help at the sacred cavern yesterday, you wouldn't have spent an entire day locked up in there. My sister. Felt sorry for her. She was abandoned by her mother and never got any love from her father either. Yes, but it was the same for you too, wasn't it? Yes, but at least I had Sister Bikini. She was like a mother to me. If only Dahlia had come with me to Hazakura Temple. Then she would have just killed people there and stolen your stuff. I always loved her. Dahlia was always so smart, so strong. She never complained about a thing. That's why I promised her that I would help her. Are you talking about the fake kidnapping case 11 years ago? Yes. I wanted to be useful to her in some way. But, as usual, I was too cowardly. At the last minute I ran away. Because of that, Ollie's stepsister, Valerie, ended up. That was the case that wounded Mia so badly. But things didn't end there, of course. Some people suspected that my sister was involved in the murder. Some people? You must mean. Yes, 2 defense attorneys. Mia Fey and Diego Armando. Poisoning Mr. Armando, who was getting too close to learning the truth. They even tried to kill the person who had unknowingly hid the poison for her. You. That's right. Iris, there's one more thing that I have to ask you. Yes, what is it? On the night of the murder, the person that cleaned up the corpse of the victim, at least do nothing, was it really you? Yes, it was me. That night, after I rang the lights out bell, I went back to my room. At around 10:30, I received a call on my cell phone. It's a problem. Come to the inner temple right away. I got on the snowmobile and headed for the inner temple, but... the path to the inner temple was cut off, right? Exactly. Can't just leave the body here. So you've got to do this exactly as I say. Got it? It was me. I was the one that received her body. The murder weapon had been left in her body so she wouldn't bleed too much. The staff that Mr. Elise always held. Knew it. So the actual murder weapon was the staff. Yes, that's right. I brought the body back to Hazakura Temple in the snowmobile. But why? Why did you alter the body? Didn't want anyone to know that the staff was the murder weapon. Didn't want to leave anything that would lead back to Misty Faye. So I dressed her in a robe and stabbed her with this stupidly long-named sword. I wiped the blood off the staff's blade and left it next to her on the ground. Iris, just tell me one last thing. Tell me the name of the person that called your cell phone. The real killer. Sorry, Mr. Wright. Can't do it. Can't say who did it. I see. Well... The options are slimming rapidly as people continue to die or not be there for it. Cannot be Iris. She was definitively on this side of the bridge, got the phone call. Cannot be her, assuming she's telling the truth, which I don't think she has a reason to lie to us at this point. We'll go with that. Can't be her. I still say that if it ends up being Maya, it should be self-defense, but clearly the game won't be happy with that since they framed that as just a guilty verdict. It won't be Maya. I'd like to think it won't be Pearls, because she'd be traumatized by that. The only remaining person it could be is Bikini. It's the only remaining person. But that doesn't make sense either, because she would have gotten back in time to see the body dressing. So it can't be Bikini either. I don't know. Brain. It's fine. Victim staff updated in the court record. Defendant. Yes? Judge is calling you. He wants to see you in his chambers. He has some questions about Dahlia Hawthorne. Alright. Well then, I'll see you later. Something I want to tell you. Oh, okay. Something he wants to tell me. It's true. Iris cooperated with the real killer. Maybe even from the very beginning. Phoenix? Oh, hello. Mia! How's Maya doing? Physically, I'm not worried. She'll recover completely. Emotionally, she's been hurt very badly by this. No kidding! This has been really bad for her. Ah, it's the Red Spy. Are you sure? Because I feel like the Red Spy is usually distracted by the Scout's mom. Slightly. And they're known to be off doing their thing. I don't know. Maybe he's on a work vacation. I see. You don't mean she learned who Elise Do Nothing really was? Yes. I went to the medical office and talked with her. Told her everything I knew. But why? Maya's stronger than you think. I knew she could take it. All of it. What do you mean by that? I want you to figure that answer out by yourself. The trial is about to restart. The real killer. You know who it is yet? This wouldn't tell me who called her, but still, like... I don't know. Like, we are so... Like, the people it could be are dropping off. If it's not Mia, or if it's not Maya, obviously not Mia. It's not Pearls, not Goodell, not Gumshoe. Unless it was Elise taking herself out instead of hurting Maya. It's not Iris, she's definitively on the other side of the bridge. Laurice is also definitively on the other side of the bridge. Wasn't even in the country. Was in another body and passed out, so she could not have made the phone call. Is in prison. So it's either... Those are the only options. Those are the only options. Is that either Elise offed herself in either a tragic accident, a twist of fate, the blade ended up weird, something. But it can't be Bikini because she discovered the murder. And we know she did. Then it's either actually Maya, who acted in entirely self-defense, and it will ruin her mentally for the rest of her life, but I would argue legally has done nothing wrong. Or... it couldn't be Elise, though. No, I have not figured out... I think it is obvious that I have not pieced it together, clearly. I think that just maybe, I know who... Okay. That night, the victim was killed in the garden of the Inner Temple. The criminal wasn't just there by accident, which means the killer knew of Dahlia's plan from the very beginning. One more thing. The victim was moved to the Hazakura temple side by pendulum. In other words, the criminal couldn't cross the bridge. That means they were stuck in the Inner Temple side for almost an entire day. Exactly. The culprit, someone that wasn't in Hazakura Temple the following day. That's as much help as I can give you. The rest of the battle is yours to win, or lose. Okay, I've got it. Thank you, Mia. Finally, it's almost time to bring this case to an end. What exactly did Maya see, anyway? And who was it that actually killed Misty Faye? Whoever it was, I have to prove it. Me, all by myself. To be continued. I mean, to be continued right now, but still. I almost feel like things are stacking up more and more pearls, but like... she would have mentioned something. And she would not have made the... like, I don't even think she has a phone call. I don't know if she knows how to use a phone. And I don't know. I have no idea. I truly do not know. Now then, before we proceed any further, I'm going to announce the results of the test we had performed earlier. Oh, good, okay. Let's go to continue. Yeah, of course. Yes, tests. On the bloody dagger that was found stuck in the pipe. Oh yeah, that. Totally forgot about it. That's the weapon that Maya Fey used when she fought with the victim. So what are the results? Was it the victim's blood, or... Due to time constraints, a full test wasn't possible. However, there's one thing we can say with certainty. It is a Fey! Let's say something really, like... The blood that was on the dagger was not the victim's blood. Okay. Got it. Okay. That is all. Now then, let's restart this trial. Why under time constraints? Because this can't go on, the trial. They wanted the answers quickly. So it wasn't Misty's blood on the dagger. Then whose was it? Dagger updated. Sure, both the defense and the prosecution know this, but this trial is rapidly coming to a close. Both sides will need to show some firm evidence with their claims. I understand, Your Honor. From what I've heard, the witness is dangerously weak, physically speaking. So let's finish this quick. Agreed. Very well. Please bring in the last witness. Witness, please tell us your name and profession. Maya Fey. My profession is, I'm the assistant manager at Wright & Co. Law Offices. Maya. According to the magazine I have here, you're a spirit medium of the Korean channeling technique. I'm frightened. The Fey clan. I don't want any more to do with it. Oh, Maya. The pain the Fey bloodline causes must be unbearable. Very well. Now then, Miss Fey. When the event occurred, you were in the garden of the Inner Temple, and you witnessed the moment of Miss Elise Do-Nothing's murder. Is this correct? I didn't see any... Straighten up this instant, young lady. Huh? Pick your head up and speak clearly. It's always time for crying later. But Your mother was killed right in front of your eyes. There's nothing you can do to change that fact. But there's something you can do. You can finish this. You've been watching the whole thing, right? Seeing the witnesses come out. You've seen us squeeze the truth out of them. Now it's your turn. Let's hear your testimony. The night of the crime. What exactly did you see happen? Witness, if you please. Yes, Your Honor. Yeah, Maya's been through... I was going to say arguably, but you don't even need that whatsoever. Been through considerably more than Phoenix has over the course of these games. Passing through the garden on the way to a spare prep room when it happened. Suddenly, someone struck me over the head. I stumbled and ended up against the stone lantern. I think I screamed, "Help me?" Then something warm splashed over me. That's when I lost consciousness. So you were struck on the head. I suppose it must have been the staff. Maya, the person who hit you. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? I'm sorry, Nick. I couldn't see. Don't know who it was. Maya, think hard. Sorry, Nick, but I really couldn't. Can't say it was an especially good night for young ladies walking around alone. Seems that it will be hard to determine the criminal through this testimony alone. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Please begin your cross-examination. Hang in there. She doesn't look well at all. Can you blame her? Really wish they gave me more HP. But, you know, like even a blip or two extra? Who else was on the Inner Temple side of that night? Well, Sister Bikini, of course. But I remember her saying that Iris would be coming later as well. The day after the incident, Edgeworth met Bikini at Hazakura Temple. That means she couldn't be the criminal. So then, did Iris actually come later like she said? Well, what do you think? Seems confused. It's probably because she's so tired. No, I'm sure I didn't see her. She must have come while I was preparing for the training. Who did it? Who hit you? Well, I didn't see who it was. I was hit from behind. I didn't see the person. But after that, your attacker was in front of you. How could you not see who it was? Oh, let me think for a sec. Sorry, I just can't remember. I was really having a hard time. What should I do? Like, we, the lawyer, need more info. We, the human being, need to let her rest. And if she didn't see, she didn't see. No amount of pressing is going to change that, but... Oh, I'm going to regret this one. Can I save first? If this causes, like, damage or something, I want to undo this. Come on, Aya, this isn't making sense. Why didn't you see this person? Well, let me think. It was, Oh yeah, that's right. It was dark, that's it. It was dark. It's not good to have too much light around when someone is undergoing spiritual training. Come to think of it, there was earlier testimony to that effect as well. It was dark in the garden on the night of the crime. Which is why she didn't see her attacker. Thought maybe she was trying to hide something, but I guess not. Judging by the testimony thus far, the identity of the attacker was most likely a spirit that was channeled by Elise Do-Nothing, Dahlia Hopham. Very well, please continue with your testimony. What happened after you were struck on the head? What happened afterwards? The attacker was in front of me, blocking off my escape, I think. You think? After getting hit like that, I was in a state of panic. There were only two things rolling around in my mind at the time. Well now, this is beginning to get interesting. So what were the two things rolling around in your mind? Ow, that hurts. Please don't kill me. My name is Maya Fey. 1 + 1 = 2. You see, for some crazy reason, I was afraid I was going to lose my memory. I know it's odd, considering my life was in danger, but that's how it was. Not odd at all. Your actions are understandable, given the circumstances. So, what did you do then? You think you screamed, but you're not sure. Listen, I was a complete wreck. It was dark and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it a man, a woman, an adult, a child? I had no idea. I was scared out of my wits. Believe me, my dear, I'm certain I would have soiled my robes. Thought this person might attack me, so I... Anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. Thought that it was my last hope. Wow, sounds like poor little Maya really was out of her mind. I wonder what she meant by last hope. What do I do? Do I press her for more details? Wait a minute, Maya. What's this my last hope stuff? What? What do you mean by your last hope? No. That's what you said. You said my last hope. Huh? What? I said what? Look, you were facing an attacker that you couldn't see and you screamed, right? You screamed, help me. Yeah. But you testified that you screamed that because you thought it was your last hope. Oh, well, you know, like, what do you call it when that happens? Maya's not doing so well up there. Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember now. I was facing my attacker, but that's not who I was screaming at. What did you just say? Yeah, that's right. It was the person behind my attacker that I was yelling at. That's who I was screaming for help. Ah. What is it now? Stop. I didn't mean to let that slip out. Huh? Witness, are you absolutely sure of what you're saying? Behind the attacker there was another person. Well, I had to keep that part a secret. Oh, it's pearls. It's the only person she'd try to protect. Like, that doesn't, none of it adds up. What have I done? Yeah. Takes a ton of pressure to make a diamond. That's what I always say. A ton of pressure. You're in a court of law here. You can't make things up or try to hide things in this chamber. Witness, the information you just presented is vital to the case. I want you to add it to your testimony. That's impossible. Now she's just hiding more stuff. Man? Who is this man? Well, you see, I couldn't see. You couldn't see. She's used this excuse twice now. Well, you know, lantern light isn't very bright. Lantern light, did you say? It's a great big stone lantern in the garden. They always light it when the acolyte is there for training. Hey, you know what they say? Under the lantern, darkness reigns. So I could see the person that was further away, but not my attacker, who was closer. Plus, there weren't any other light sources in the garden at the time. You don't mean... was it... didn't know it at the time, but I think it was probably blood. She's saying that's when Miss Do-Nothing, who was channeling Dahlia, was stabbed in the back by the killer? That moment I was paralyzed with fear. I was just sitting there in the snow. I'm sure blood got on everything around me. So what happened next? I don't remember. How were you saved? You don't even remember that? No. I haven't gotten any idea. I really don't know what happened at all. It's too bad. I worked side by side with Maya for 2 years now. I can tell when she's trying to hide something by how she acts. And right now, absolutely certain she's hiding something. Unless we can get the other one out of this too. No, that just stays. See a man behind my attacker by the light of the stone lantern. So she admitted she could see man, the person. Oh, it was not lit the night of the crime. That's what we're looking for. Okay. So there's a man standing behind your attacker. Yeah. That man, he's the killer. He stabbed her from behind. He's the one who killed Elise Do-Nothing. Otherwise known as Miss Dufay, your mother. Killer? Maya? You know who killed your mother, don't you? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? To be frank, Your Honor, I think she's in shock and quite confused. Excuse me. That's why she hasn't noticed a huge problem with her testimony. Huh? What do you mean? What problem? Maya? The night of the crime, that stone lantern was out of commission. Huh? What? It's true. There was no light anywhere in the garden that night. Order in the court. Mr. Goodell, explain this. The lantern was out, sir. Add the pureness of milk to the perfect clear darkness of coffee. Stir. That is the state of the witness's mind right now. Cup of cafe au lait. Cafe au lait? Is that even legal? What? You just said it's coffee and milk. Yes, it's illegal. Mr. Tright's words on the milk. You are the spoon, Your Honor. I'm a spoon? I'm no spoony bard, I'll have you know. You are absolutely... You would be the spooniest of bards. You must have noticed it too, Trite. This witness's mental state is highly unstable right now. Not hard to understand why she would make a little mistake like that. Sorry, that's not going to cut it. What did you say? There truly was no light in the garden. Then there's a fatal contradiction of the witness's last bit of testimony. Nick, may I recall the witness's statement about her attacker? She said she didn't know if it was a man or a woman or an adult or a child. Yet, the witness could describe a person that was standing behind her attacker, and she quite clearly described him as a man. In other words, that would have to mean that Maya actually saw a mystery person, despite it being so dark that she couldn't have seen the face of her own attacker. No. Poor Maya. Order, order. What in the world does this all mean, Mr. Wright? Are you saying Miss Faye saw the real killer under pitch black conditions?
Objection.
Right? Do you have any idea what you're proposing? How could she have seen in the dark? There's no other light source at the scene. There are some things that you can only see in the dark, Mr. Godot. Maya, you did see who the killer was in the dark. And now, you're trying to cover for him. Cover? For the man that killed her mother? There's only one conclusion I can draw from this. You know who this man is. Please, Nick. I don't know anything. Please, I'm begging you. Huh. Talk a good games, right? But let's see if you can walk the walk. It's pitch black, so what could the witness see? Calling your bluff? No, Nick, don't. Please stop. Maya is dead set on protecting this guy. The man who murdered Maya's long-lost mother. But I can't let them get away with it. I'm a lawyer, an officer of the court, here to find the truth. Alright, Mr. Wright, time to show us what you got. Who is the person that you say Miss Faye saw in the... I don't know. I mean... that would make a noticeable dark... You'd be able to see that. He wasn't in the country. We know for sure he was on the other side of the bridge. We know for sure. The question of how and why are going to be long. But he's the only one that makes sense. He also wasn't around for the first day of the trial, when everyone was locked on the island. So, while I don't know how, the why sure seems, or the who sure seems to be pointing this way. If it is a male figure, he is the only one it could be. Also, you'd be able to see the goggles in the dark, presumably. Did we ever cover whether they actually emit light? Did the game ever cover that, or I just assume that they glow? I don't know if the game ever covered that. It was just kind of assumed they gave off light, but like, I don't know if that's been established. This was pitch black. Miss Faye was able to recognize the killer easily. Sure, the court would like to see it for itself, how this is possible, yes? What? But how do you propose to show us something like that? It's easy. We just need to recreate the conditions of that night. Conditions? Your Honor, the defense officially requests that all the lights in the courtroom be turned off. This is... but it can't be. That was a nice bit of deduction. Right? Alright, so they definitely give off light then. Well, everyone, this is the man Maya saw on the night of the murder. I have no idea why or how, but like, we're going with it. It's fine. Welcome back, Ramen. I was right. I don't know how I was right. I haven't lost a single point of HP tonight. Prosecutor Godot, what is the meaning of this? And I haven't had to like save scum either. Like, I honestly have been right tonight so far. Surely you must be shocked to hear yourself accused of such a thing. Why are you denying it? Your Honor, you're asking the wrong person. Don't ask me to give evidence, you son of a coffee drinking. What do you mean by that? You got a question, ask the witness. One of my rules. Well, Maya, how about it? What you saw that night? Is it 3 glowing red lights? Well, witness, answer the question. You're wrong. I never saw that. Yeah. Thought the person that stabbed my mother was a man. For a totally different reason. What? No, it took until the circus case for me to become a genius lawyer. Stop your chattering, Your Honor. Chattering? It's worth asking. Ask the witness. It's one of our rules. Alright. Well then, let's continue with the testimony. Please tell us how you knew the killer was a man. Yes, Your Honor. I didn't realize it until after I woke up, but...
What the fuck?
Being proud is so damn hard. Who would have thought? I know, it's crazy. Who would have thought? Also, hey, Ark, how's it going? Welcome to Back to Later in the chat. The killer. When I came to, I was just lying there on the training hall floor. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. Torches were lit, and the body was gone. All the snow around the stone lantern had been carefully cleaned up, too. Since the person did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man. Because of the many men at this temple right now, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was after the crime took place that the witness came to think the killer was a man. Yes, that's right. Sorry, Your Honor, I need to apologize. It's as Mr. Godot said, you're utterly exhausted. It's only natural that you would be a little confused. Also, if you consider the situation you described, it doesn't seem too much of a stretch to assume the culprit was a man. Mr. Wright, proceed with the cross-examination. Man, can we just... Maya, come on. So you lost consciousness when you were in the garden, is that right? Yes, I think it happened when the victim was stabbed. So then the person that carried you into the inner temple would only have been the killer. That's what I think too. But the killer carried Maya into the inner temple. Naturally, the killer must have done it, right? Yes, I think so. But why would the killer tamper with the crime scene like that? Why would the killer tamper with the crime scene that shows that they were the killer? Why would the killer try to hide the... It's fine. It must have been something that the killer desperately wanted to hide. The fact that they're a killer? I don't know. Looks like she doesn't have enough confidence. I think I need to gather some more information before I ask her again. Torches were lit? Yes, that's how I noticed that the whole scene had changed. I'm going to say it was the killer who lit the torches. I mean, who else could it be? The killer probably lit them since it'd be impossible to do any cover-up work in the dark. However, if that's true, there's still one thing that bothers me. The killer knew how to breathe fire? Why did the killer go to the effort of moving the body? It's true. It's hard to see how that would be of any advantage to the killer. The only one who would gain anything from that would be... the only person that was at the inner temple, Maya. Very well, let me hear some more about the condition of the crime scene. So you're saying the killer cleaned up the snow. It did look really odd. The snow was removed in an unnatural-looking rectangular shape around the lantern. There are a lot of shovels around the inner temple. They're all really heavy. Way too heavy for me to use. An odd fellow indeed, this killer. Why on earth would anyone want to take snow away? Well, there's one thing I can think of. Didn't you say that a lot of the victim's blood sprayed onto the snow? Yeah. The area I collapsed in ended up being splattered. In other words, the killer's purpose was to hide the bloody snow. I think that's the most reasonable explanation. Perhaps. However, there's something that's bothering me. The killer just wanted to hide the snow with the blood on it. There's no need to remove that amount. That's true. They could have scooped up just the snow that was stained with blood. Looks like there are more mysteries behind this issue, but I think this will help explain them. So you're saying that you never saw the killer, right? Yes. But earlier you very clearly stated that you saw a man behind your attacker. Nick, I'm sorry. The killer certainly went through a lot of trouble. Moving the body by pendulum, manipulating the crime scene, but for what purpose? Why do all that? Even Maya knows more than she's letting on. We had to get to the other one anyway. Truth is, when I saw the crime scene, I felt something. You did? Yes. Felt like the killer was hiding the evidence from me, for my sake. What? Hiding it for you? Everyone knew that I was the only one at the Inner Temple that night. If Sister Bikini had come back and looked at the garden, she may have thought that you had done it. No, she definitely would have thought so. You're saying that's why the killer cleaned up the crime scene to make it look like nothing had happened? Yes, I'm sure of it. Well, that's certainly an important piece of information. I want you to add that to your testimony. Yes, Your Honor. They did it for your sake. Well, if the body and the blood hadn't been removed, I would have immediately been the prime suspect, right? Yes, I suppose that's true. Yeah, if that happened, the body would have caused some other problems too. If her real identity had come out right then, it would have been terrible. Master of the Korean channel, killed by her own daughter. I don't think Maya would have been able to handle it. But still, it's rather difficult to fathom the killer's motives. What reason is there to go through that much trouble to protect you? Body... Gotta be there. I'm gonna save before I do anything stupid. It was for my sake that the code cleaned up the evidence of what happened. Is it possible they saw that? That still hasn't come up yet, right? Oh, all that's done is prove that who she was, but it hasn't come up in court. That hasn't come up either. Know what to present. Like, obviously, he seems to be protecting the person who protected her. I don't know what to present or where. This is the only thing that was added. What reason is there to go through that much trouble to protect you? Wrong button. Like, just going from previous examples, that seems like the one we're supposed to represent something, huh? Maybe this... Man, it's such a stretch, though. It's mostly just because it hasn't come up. And it's also weird that that would be left behind. If the whole point was to clean up and obscure this fact, why leave that behind? Follow the guy. I already saved. Crap, music didn't stop. Alright. Cool. I guess we have needed that just for the orb, really. Let's do him again. It's not it. Damn it. I was doing good tonight. I was doing good tonight. Consciousness. Other character in. It doesn't seem anything we can prove against that. Gotta be this. Yeah, it's also weird that all the snow was cleared. I don't know if we have any evidence for that. This doesn't help clear it up. He's like, yeah, this will help clear it up. That's why I thought it was meant. Yeah, she's covering, we get it. She knows when she's not around. It's gotta be that, but like... Oh, I thought that would do anything. Ah, that's actually, you know... Damn it, that wasn't a shot in the dark. That was me actually thinking that one. If it's Godot, Godot clearly had a thing for Mia. To some degree, they worked together, they were at least friends, things were good for them. He blames Phoenix, but he definitely didn't want anything bad to happen to Maya. So I figured Mia would be a good reason thing. I don't know. If not that... Pearls, no, we tried him. No, she definitely wasn't there. She wasn't there. I don't really think... I'm gonna try her because she's the only other person that could matter at this point here. No. Then it's either I'm an idiot or not a person. Or both. What the hell down here is show like... Oh. I'm an idiot, yeah. I'm definitely an idiot. You know what? We're loading because I need all the HP I can get. Yeah, it took a minute. But I got it. I got there in the end. I finally did get there. Body released Do Nothing was carried all the way to Hazakura Temple's courtyard. Then, at the garden, the real scene of the crime, the snow that we suspect was covered in blood was scooped up and removed. It's reasonable to believe all this was done in an attempt to hide the true crime scene. However, there's still one matter that seems somewhat odd. Oh, what would that be? You must have figured it out by now, Mr. Godot. Oh, yeah, the thing he can't see. The message written in blood on the lantern. It was written very clearly on the white stone lantern. Maya. Huh. The killer was so motivated to protect Maya from suspicion, then why didn't they wipe the writing off the lantern? Ah, you're right. Order, order, order. But, Mr. Wright. We'll go through it. You're right, that would be the ultimate. I would just need some sort of sensor so I could slap it to keep going. I could, like, tap it on the desk, like, shake it vertically. Yeah. I don't have the knowledge to do that currently, but I could probably have learned it if I was planning on it. That would have been the best. Isn't it a fact that the killer was trying to cover up the crime scene? Indeed, but it doesn't make much sense to move the body and remove the bloody snow, then not wipe off the most incriminating thing of all, the bloody writing. If that's the case, do you have an explanation for the killer's mysterious behavior? Yeah, he can't see the color red, because everything he sees is red tinted. Why would this killer move the body and remove all that snow? Because he couldn't see what snow had blood on it, so he just moved all of it. Then leave the bloody writing on the lantern. You know, I don't know what the killer's plan was, but it's a fact that the killer left the writing on the lantern. There must be a reason for it. Well then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your opinion. What did the killer leave the message written in blue? Why did they? Killer didn't notice it. Prosecutor Godot, earlier in this trial you gave me some good advice. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Maybe you're not as dumb as I thought. The real killer wanted to disguise the fact that a crime had occurred here. If that's the case, they wouldn't have left the bloody writing on the stone lantern on purpose. Therefore, it must mean that they didn't notice it. It doesn't make any sense. The torches were all lit and everything. There's no way any normal person would miss something as glaring as that. You're right. There's no way any normal person would. What are you trying to say, Mr. Wright? There's only one person involved in this incident who could have missed seeing the bloody writing altogether. Who would that be? Who is the person that could have failed to notice the bloody writing? Pearl, she's been colorblind the whole time. Mr. Godot, this is what you said yesterday. You can't see everything. Is that correct, Mr. Godot? This lantern was submitted as evidence today. I would like the court to think back to the moment it was first presented. That's true, she clearly does, yes. Red-white colorblind. Mr. Godot, just admit it. There are certain colors you can't see, correct? You can't see red on a white background, can you? Ah, he doesn't think he's wearing a tie. He looks over at Phoenix and sees him as a tieless bastard. It's like, how dare you? That's right. We went through this once before, during the poisoning case at Tribulations. You could see the coffee on the white apron, but you couldn't see the ketchup because it was red. Strange. In a black and white photo, those letters would have appeared black to me. I wonder, why am I the only one that can't see them? Because you view the entire world through rose-tinted glasses. I wonder. Yeah. So then, Mr. Godot, are you admitting it? You're right, he can't see the power tie. You admitting that you can't see the red whiting on the lantern? I mean, he already admitted to it, but... Hey, Gramps, didn't you know? That's the reason why I don't drink red tea. What? Okay. I wasn't sure about it until now, but just can't believe it. Prosecutor Godot is the murderer, but there's no going back now. I finally figured out the truth. Mr. Godot, the defense at this time formally accuses you. You are the murderer of Miss Elise Do-Nothing, also known as Miss Misty Faye. Yeah, and Godot's gonna be like, ha, cool, funny, prove it. Prove it again. Prove it a third. Prove it like 9 times. You know. Have to go blind. Well, no. The coffee actually just fuels his cybernetic implants. You know. He did. I mean, he did die. He did die. So this is technology that's bringing him back from the dead. Unless I missed something. He straight up died, so maybe he just needs a lot of fuel to keep that going. It's hard to believe this may be true. However, once again, Mr. Wright has brought up a disquieting fact about you. Yeah. Just make sure you don't fill out the indictment in red ink, Gramps. Come on, how does a little graffiti make me into the killer? Besides, it's not like it's my name that's written there. Certain that the killer wasn't able to see the color red. This is rich. Do go on, Trite. The answer is right there at the crime scene. Oh, that's also why they didn't move the stupid... Okay. In the snow, yeah. No, how so? Well, for example, why did the killer move all that snow? Your Honor, you said it yourself. If you wanted to hide the bloody snow, why not just take out just that area? Yes, why didn't he take out just that area? Ah, could it be... Yes, the killer couldn't see the red blood that had seeped into the snow, and so he had to remove all of the snow. He couldn't be sure of where the blood had landed, so he removed the whole area. Isn't it more likely that the killer couldn't see the blood because it was dark? Not a chance. The torches were all lit. He would have been able to see just fine. Seems that once again, this trial has taken on an unexpected turn, to say the least. Can you explain this, Mr. Godot? Wow, is he actually... No, Godot's gonna be like, nah, Wright, prove it. Wait just a minute. Maya, what is it, witness? Mr. Godot isn't the killer. After all, he didn't even come to the Inner Temple until 2 days after the murder took place. He didn't show up until after that old bridge got fixed up.
Objection.
Maya? You can't testify to something like that. Why? What do you mean? I mean, after the murder happened, you didn't even exist. You didn't? I'm afraid I don't follow. You senile old man, we established this just a little while ago. After the murder, this witness was unconscious for a long time. Because she was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, that's right. Please, Your Honor, let me add to my testimony. Nick, please listen to me. Maya, do you plan to cover for Godot no matter what the cost? If that's the case, then I've got no choice. Your Honor, let's hear her testimony. If it means we're going to hear the whole truth, I say we should not silence her. Nicely done, Wright. Very well, let's hear the witness's testimony. Please tell us what happened at the Inner Temple after the murder. Yes, sir. After I woke up, I began channeling, and my spirit left me, as it were. But little Pearlie was there at the Inner Temple, too. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't try to squeeze this into the hour last week. Would not have worked. Pearlie was also stuck in the Inner Temple side that night. The next morning, she looked around, but couldn't find anyone. The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. That's when Mr. Godot arrived at the Inner Temple for the first time. He found Pearlie first, and cheered her right up. Who is this Pearlie? That's my little cousin, Pearl Fay. So when did you hear about this? You've met her like 9 times, Judge. Oh, just a while ago, when I was in the medical office. Terribly sorry, but what you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. What? Come on! Pearl would never tell a lie. She's a way more honest person than I'll ever be. Real smart, Maya. You always know the best things to say when you're under oath. Prosecution is no objection. We believe the witness. Mr. Godot, let's just move on to the cross-examination. The defense has no objections. It's highly unusual, but, well, Mr. Wright, let's get this cross-examination started. So where do you think Pearl slept that night? In the spare prep room next to the training hall, I guess. There's a rule that you can't enter the training hall during an acolyte's training. Even so, why did she go to the Inner Temple in the first place? It seems that Pearls became very worried about Maya. She knew that the spiritual training I was about to undergo was very intense. Pearls was supposed to channel Dahlia Hawthorne, but she couldn't do it. That's why she headed for the Inner Temple. However, Dahlia Hawthorne was already there, possessing the body of Elise Do Nothing. She searched the entire Inner Temple side, end to end. Well, you see, Pearl gets pretty scared when she's alone. There weren't that many places to look. She says that she even went back and forth several times. The Inner Temple side has 2 structures, the training hall and a spare prep room. It's also a storage shack, I think. That's about it. There's a storage shack, too. Pearl's is looking for other people, right? Would she have really examined a storage shack all that carefully? Well, if it was me, that would be the first place I would investigate. So that means it's possible that someone may have been hiding out in the storage shack. Pearls didn't hear the sound of them working on the bridge? What do you mean? I was just wondering why she would stay in the prep room. If it was me, I'd at least go out and wait at the foot of the bridge. Oh, well, Pearlie said she was sleeping at the time. She said she was so scared during the night that she couldn't sleep well and woke up a bunch of times. Poor little girl, all alone like that. Well, we know that she had at least one friend in the sacred cavern, Dahlia Hawthorne, who was busy battling with the trick lock. Couldn't let anyone see her. She wouldn't have shown herself to Pearls. What happened after the bridge was finally fixed? So, it was your first time on the Inner Temple side, Mr. Godot. Huh? That's funny. Am I imagining things, or did the defense ask me a question? Mr. Wright, please save your questions for the witness. What you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. Those are your words, Your Honor. Touche, Mr. Wright. Oh well. What do you have to say, Mr. Cadeau? The judge is just like, well, damn. Yep. Hot nights and even hotter coffee. That's what I always say. If I hadn't been for this case, I never would have visited there. Freezing cold temple in the mountains. I think I'll pass. So he had never visited Hazakura Temple or the Inner Temple, huh? You want to say something, Trent? In any case, I have to find a crack in Godot's armor. Well, I cross-examine Maya, that is. Very well, please go on with the testimony. After fixing the bridge, the policeman came over to the Inner Temple side, right? Yes, then Mr. Godot... He cheered her up. That's what Pearlie said. She said he was a very nice older gentleman. Thank you for looking after my cousin, Mr. Godot. Here I was thinking you were nothing more than a coffee addict. Yeah, cut it out. You're making me blush. This guy's really beginning to get on my nerves. In more ways than one. Truth is, there aren't that many places to look in the Inner Temple side. Policemen were all busy going over the garden with the fine-tooth combs. So I decided to carry out an investigation in my own way, Godot style. And I'm the same way. I like to hand down verdicts in my own way, judge style. Maybe I should ask some questions. Phoenix style. That's true. He is still a coffee addict. So you cheered Pearls up. Found that little girl. First thing she asked about was her cousin, Maya Fey. Really? Bridge had burned down and she was huddled up in that tiny shack with no heat. Even though she must have had a truly terrifying night out there. She asked about you before she said a thing about herself. Pearl, noticed that you weren't anywhere on the Inner Temple side, but couldn't find it in me to tell her that, so I gave her my last cup. With milk and sugar, to hide the bitterness of the harsh truth. What a sweet story. You got a thermos of coffee? Why doesn't that surprise me? There's only one thing of any importance here. Where was Godot when the murder was taking place? Must have already been at the Inner Temple when it happened. Otherwise, he couldn't have killed Elise Do Nothing. Okay, so... it's gotta be the other one. It's gotta be this. Pick the other option. You said that you conducted an investigation of your own. Did you find anything? Looks like my investigation went about as well as yours, right? After all, I did miss the bloody writing on the lantern. Well, didn't miss it, so speak for yourself, Goggles. The only odd thing I discovered was the beauty in the training hall. Beauty? Misty Fey, naturally. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western taste. Western taste? Could you find a strange way to describe gravy? So from there, you headed to the prep room. Wait a sec. What did Godot say just now? I think I just found his proverbial weak spot. Only one thing of any... okay. Gotta be... it actually gotta be this one, right? I'm second guessing myself some saving, but it's gotta be that here. It would be, but it wouldn't be the first time either. Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time someone would be like, fail that. I mean, it's gotta be... okay, music stopped. Good sign. Mr. Godot, the first time you crossed Dusky Bridge and went into the Inner Temple was long before the murder took place. Why do you say that? Because he just made one fatal slip-up. The hanging scroll in the training hall. Hanging scroll? But Mr. Godot is right. That scroll shows a picture of my mother. Maya, I know you know who it is, but here's something you didn't know. By the time the bridge had been repaired 2 days after the murder, the hanging scroll in the training hall looked like this. What's that wonderfully delicious smell? The morning after the crime, someone covered it with gravy. Gravy? But why gravy, Nick? Because gravy was much more than a condiment to the culprit. Well, Mr. Godot, if you really hadn't seen the hanging scroll until after the murder, you wouldn't have had any way of knowing that it was Misty Faye. Oh, wait a minute, Nick. Yes? Taking a look at the hanging scroll. Look, at the top. There's a crest there. Ah, that. It's the mark of the master, correct? Exactly. So if you knew the meaning of the mark, you could guess that it was a picture of Misty Faye on there. True, but Mr. Godot described what was underneath like this. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes. Yes, it's possible that he knew what the crest meant. However, he couldn't have known that she was wearing Japanese clothing. Mr. Godot, on the day of the murder, you were hiding at the Inner Temple long before the crime took place. Can I ask you just one little thing, Trey? No. What is it? This whole theory of yours all rests on a certain assumption. That I knew beforehand that a crime was going to be committed. That's right. Otherwise, there's no reason for him to sneak into the crime scene. Of course, Mr. Godot knew about the plan. Huh? What did he say? Is it really possible that another person knew of that plan? I mean, it was opened once before, so gotta be that. This crime was actually planned over a year ago. Morgan Fay authorized the plan for her daughter's future, or authored the plan, and these instructions were hidden somewhere in the Fay Manor for a year. However, by the time Little Pearls found it, these instructions had already been unsealed. Unsealed? Yes. The killer had read these instructions long before Pearls ever found them. That's how he knew the crime was to take place at the Inner Temple. Still insists this crafty killer is me? You bet I do. But you just said that the instructions were hidden. That's right. Mr. Godot couldn't have known where the instructions were hidden. If you really wanted to know, you had one great chance to find out. Yes, and when was that? During a visit. Visit? Morgan Fay told her daughter, Pearl, about where the instructions were hidden. During one of her visits to the detention center. That would be the only time for someone to have learned where they were hidden. Eavesdropping on a visit at the detention center? Yes, it could be arranged if you were someone with easy access in and out of there. Like, for example, prosecutor, such as Mr. Godot. Order, order, order. Mr. Godot, you're under fire again. This murder could not have been carried out without prior knowledge, and you were the only one that could have acquired this information before the murder. Humans are afraid of the dark, and yet, at the same time, we're fascinated and bewitched by it. Maybe that's why humans drink the darkness as coffee. Ah. Oh. Correct reaction, Judge. Sorry for what I was asking, but what does that mean? It means there's a reason for everything. According to your theory, the killer in this case eavesdropped. Conversation during a jail visit where he learned of a hidden plan for a crime. After discovering the plans, he hid in the Inner Temple and waited for the crime to occur. Then he ultimately took a person's life. And he did all of that just to protect this witness. Yep, that's right. You're accusing me of this crime. I have to ask you, why would I do this? This girl is nothing but a stranger to me. That's false. You wanted to save her for exactly the reason Dahlia wanted to kill her. Had no reason to go through that kind of trouble to protect her. From what you see, I'm certainly not the type to rescue the damsel in distress. Killer's behavior is certainly extreme, for lack of a better word, even considering that the killer wanted to protect this witness's life. His behavior is still a little too unnatural. However, you have a good reason, Mr. Godot. An unshakable reason that forced you to protect this witness at all costs. I knew it. You figured it out, haven't you, Nick? Yes, Maya. Guess you were doing your best to cover for Godot. I'll have to check that afterwards. For the same reason, huh? Okay, it's right. I'm all ears. Let's hear it. It's very simple. I mean, I know it is, but I also know that I get things wrong. Maya Fey is a lot more than just a stranger to you. What's this? There's one person who lies at the very center of this whole story. Hey, Jude, how's it going? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. Thank you for the 71-month objection. We're about to be laying down that evidence. How you doing today? Hope your crocodile leveling has been going well, and your weekend in general. Yep. It's a very good reason why Maya Fey's life is so precious to you. After all, he is Mia Fey's only sister. He's in the brain of 3 streams of, yeah, that would be quite a bit, honestly. Mia Fey, you once worked alongside her. That was when you were a defense attorney and alive. Both of those things, yeah. The map together, yeah, the map helps. Wait a second here. Mr. Godot is a defense attorney? With your honor's piercing intellect, you must have figured it out by now. The real name of this man who calls himself Godot. His real name is Diego Armando. Isn't that right? The last time someone called me by that name was over 6 years ago. Diego Armando. The name rings a bell. Didn't he die? It should, Your Honor. All of this is related to a single case. A case in which a convict named Terry Falls killed himself. Mia Fey's first time in court. The tragic outcome left a deep wound in her heart. She knew that behind it all was a heartless, scheming demoness in disguise. But in the end, Mia couldn't tear off that disguise. However, there was one man who reached out to help her. Diego Armando, a senior defense attorney at the office where Mia worked. It's my fault. It's my fault. It's not my fault. Mr. Wells killed himself. Yeah. You can't cry yet. Anytime I look and cry, it's my I was moved by her. The way she put all her faith in her clients. The pure sweet heart of hers. That's why I never forgive Dahlia Hawthorne. Me and I thoroughly investigated that fake kidnapping incident. Then one fateful day, Dahlia wanted to meet with me. It's been 6 months since the trial. We met in the courthouse cafeteria. Ah, I just remembered. 6 years ago, right here in this courthouse, you were poisoned. Yeah, it's again, he died. So, you know, I guess one of the downsides to bringing someone back seems to be cybernetic eye implants that don't let them see the color red, an addiction to coffee, and gray hair. It's a price. Even I didn't see it coming. Dahlia Hawthorne slipped some poison into my coffee. Some newspaper at the time called it a murder. Yeah, just slightly. Very little information about the case was released to the press. But you weren't dead at all. No official reports ever actually called it a murder. It was just in a deep, deep coma. See. Body shut down. My life became nothing but a long, deep sleep. That woman's poison did a real number on my central nervous system. Lost my sight, and all of my hair turned white due to the damage it caused. Terrible. Apparently, it was a miracle that I ever regained consciousness. 5 years have passed since I drank that poison brew. I made up for it every last cup I've missed in that time. Then one morning, my eyes flew open from the smell of a doctor's cup of coffee. 5 years? You were asleep for 5 years? Worst possible news was waiting for me. Mia Fey was dead. The very moment I opened my eyes, I'd already lost everything I thought I had. The woman I loved had been murdered. The woman I loathed had been sentenced to death. The woman you loathed? The woman who had spiked my scalding hot coffee. Dahlia Hawthorne. Good old Mia. She didn't let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. In the end, there wasn't anyone waiting for me when I woke up. It's so sad. Someone like me. Someone who slept away their best days. There were only 2 reasons left to live. It was for those 2 reasons that I decided to become a prosecutor. I may ask, what were your 2 reasons to live? To punish Phoenix Wright and to protect Mia Fey, or Maya Fey. First was you, right? Huh? Me? If I hadn't drank that stupid poison, Mia Fey never would have died, much less the way she did. You were the only one who was there to protect. Again, like, you think we do nothing but, like, hang, like... I understand, because of the circumstances, that he has to be upset about this. But, like, you're an idiot, and if you truly think you would have been able to do it differently, then what you're saying is you never would have let her out of your sight and let her be a human being instead of just an object you protected. Which I don't think is true either. That he doesn't strike me as that type. He's just... Like, I get it. I get why he has to be mad. He woke up and he lost everything, and he has to blame it on someone, and he can't blame it on her sister who wasn't there. The only person he can blame it on is us or him. He's gonna blame it on us. We also didn't exactly... We didn't poison him, but we were part of that case, so you know. You let her... it just doesn't sit right with me. Excuse me. It's all your fault. It wasn't like that. I wanted to see for myself what kind of man you really were. So that's why you became a prosecutor. Another reason for living. He goes by the name Maya Fey. Huh? You mean me? You're the only way I could make up for the sin of not saving Mia. It wasn't her fault. Yeah, of course, yeah. 1 year ago, the Korean village incident was resolved. It's obvious that Morgan Fey was planning something. Whatever her evil plan was, I was determined to stop it. My role as a prosecutor put me in the perfect position to do something about her. That's how you overheard Pearl's visit with Morgan at the detention center. I knew that time was drawing near. Since I knew the plan, I thought I could foil it. My goal was to outwit the plan. I thought if I could do that, I could keep that girl from being caught up in it. That makes sense. If Pearls had known that the actual purpose of the plan was to kill Maya, she never would have helped out. Finally, the day of the plan was drawing near. I contacted both of my accomplices. Accomplices? Iris of Hazakura Temple and Misty Fey. Especially needed the help of Iris. It was to take the fall in my backup plan in case we couldn't control Pearl. But how did you contact my mother? She had been missing for almost 20 years. Officially, yeah. What? What do you mean, officially? Didn't I tell you? Coffee has the ability to make you clairvoyant. I just knew. You've heard about it, haven't you? About the strong ties between the main family and the government? Now that you mention it, Bikini did say something to that effect. She said that the Master of Korean had great authority. Even without her official position, Misty Fey still wielded great influence. Police have been keeping an eye on her movements all this time. That's how I was able to contact her. Again, because of my position as a prosecutor. My mother was cooperating with you. Don't ever forget. No matter how far away from you she was, she never stopped thinking about you. She was always... That's why I knew she would do anything to protect you. You want to know how strong her resolve to protect you was? Look at her staff. The staff? The one with the sword in it? The day the plan was to be carried out arrived soon enough. We met for the first time at Hazakura Temple. That's when your mother showed me her special staff. Realized it then, just how far she was willing to go. She was ready to use that sword to protect you from Morgan Fey, if necessary. Yes, even if it meant paying the ultimate price. Mother. That night, the night of the crime, there's just one way to stop Morgan's evil plan. You mean Pearls? Don't you? Need to make sure she didn't channel Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, Pearl, what are you gonna do tonight? Oh. Thought we could prevent her from playing her part in Morgan's plan. But he never showed up. Hold on. It's so intense I haven't wanted to pause, but like I really need to drink more. It's been over 2 hours and I hadn't even had just the one cup. So I'm also gonna have some water. And also, I had a very tasty dinner tonight, but it was kinda salty. So I really should be drinking even more than normal for Sunday, and I have not been. Which is, you know, good on the writing, very engaging, but gotta take the pause here and drink. Hydration important. I think that'll do for now. She was worried and followed me into the inner temple. That was the thing we were most afraid of. That's why Misty Faye had to do the channeling herself. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne into her own body. What? What do you mean? We've covered this already, Judge. Oh, this has so already been covered. Okay, whatever. She channeled the spirit first, then Pearls wouldn't be able to do it herself. Master of Korean, Misty Faye's power was supreme. So that's how it went down. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne so that Pearl Faye wouldn't be able to. Ah! What? Is this true? The role in the plan was to make sure no one was going to hurt Maya Faye. That's why I hid myself in the inner temple, just in case you needed to be saved from Dahlia Hawthorne. Dough? Anyway, that's all I'm going to admit to. Right. Huh? There's no doubt about it. You're a great defense attorney. But you're going to have to do the rest yourself. Oh my god, why? You literally admitted you were there, you protected Maya. Like, come on, just stop. Background leading up to this incident has been laid bare. There's just one question remaining, Mr. Wright. Who killed the victim? Godot. 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 There are only two possible suspects right now. Maya Faye. And I'm sad to say, you, Mr. Godot. She was stabbed in the back. She was facing Maya. Godot had to have done it. That's it. That's also, Maya then immediately passed out. Well, try it. You're the real deal. Finish this thing once and for all. Show us beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can finish this on your own. No, Nick, please don't. Yeah? I heard the whole thing. From my sister in the medical office. Excuse me. That's why I have to protect Mr. Godot. Can't do it. Can't testify against him. After all, he's the man who put his life on the line to protect Mia. And me too. Maya, I know that. Nick. But even so, the choices now are you are guilty of murder or he's guilty of murder. Also, you gotta show the truth. Doesn't absolve him of his crime. Just like apparently you fighting a self-defense would mean nothing to this court. Please, Maya, testify. Miss Faye, your testimony, please. This is the final testimony. Don't bother trying to hide anything, because I'll know. Want to hear the truth from your own lips. Understand. Sure, you're right. I'm ready now, Nick. Alright, young lady, tell us about the moments before you lost consciousness. What exactly happened at the time of the murder? Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights, 3 of them. Thought I'd ask for help, but just then, I was splattered with blood. She wasn't dead though, and she struck back at the enemy behind her. Suddenly, the red lights went out, and the whole area was dark. Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream. And after that, Talia collapsed, and I lost consciousness. Those red lights. I thought you said you didn't remember seeing them. I'm sorry. Thought I saw them, but then they disappeared all of a sudden. Things break, Trent. Even the best of theories. Who was it that stabbed Misty Faye? Looks like you still can't prove it. Why not? There were... What do you mean we can't prove it? Oh, if the judge just had 2 brain cells. 2! That's all I'm asking for. 2! Okay. Maya is telling the truth this time. I know it. The rest is up to me. Well then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your final cross-examination of the witness. Okay, rising. I'll say, Floof, how's it going? Welcome to Viperland in the chat, because he's Godot. He lost his eyesight and was in a coma for 6 years, and that thing lets him see, just, you know, slightly rose-tinted, so he can't see red on white, which definitely wasn't important to this case whatsoever. The judge is just... If the judge was competent, the game would suck. The game would be fair, but the game would suck. I get it. I poke fun at him and he frustrates me, but he has to for the game to be a game. I get it. But it can still be frustrating sometimes. I understand. It would be a very short, very boring game if the judge was competent. Yeah. Lights shining in the dark. I don't think you can make a mistake about that. Yeah, you're right. I think I saw them, but I can't say for certain. I can't tell you for sure they were from Mr. Godot's mask either. I get the feeling she's covering from anymore, but... If she's not covering, then I'm curious. But just after that, you turned towards the lights and called for help. Isn't that because you thought the lights were coming from Mr. Godot's mask? Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that's what I was thinking at the time. But I can't remember, after all. There was a person I couldn't identify in front of me. Maya's life was in terrible danger at the time. There's no way she can remember the details of the scene perfectly. Alright then, we'll go on with the testimony. What did you do when you saw the red lights? That blood. Was it Dahlia Hawthorne's blood? I think so. Probably. Just at that moment, I heard a soft scream that seemed to be close by. It's a woman's voice. That was when the killer stabbed the victim from behind with a murder weapon. Is that right? Without a doubt, Maya was in the middle of a really dangerous situation. Anyway, the victim was stabbed by the murder weapon. What happened after that? Struck back? How do you know that? Well, you're right, I didn't see it exactly, but I could tell by the sound of their breathing and movement. Also, the smell of blood. We've witnessed more horror than any young lady should ever have to in one life. And that's just in this case, not any of the previous ones. You've had some stuff. So then, what did you do at that point? I couldn't move. Just barely make out the shadows moving in the dark, but I had no idea what to do. You still see the red lights you mentioned earlier? Yes, I think so, but... Oh, absolutely been through way too much. They went out. Yes, suddenly I couldn't see them at all. What could it mean? The red lights were coming from Godot's mask. They went out right in the middle of a fight. Maybe the mask was damaged. Maybe it was knocked off. Or maybe the batteries ran out. Right, Trey? Maybe those little red pinhead-looking lights just stopped working. Could have really happened then. Like how everybody had a theory. Including Godot. What do you mean by just at that moment? Do you mean the moment where the red lights went out? Yes, that's right. The scream that you heard then. Was it Dahlia Hawthorne? I don't think so. Pretty sure it's a man's voice. What? Well, I mean, okay. All this is adding up, so then that scream came from the killer. It's gotta be it. I think Dahlia Hawthorne must have taken the blade and attacked the killer with it. Then the killer let out a scream of pain, huh? After that, the killer stole the blade back and delivered the final blow, I guess. Well, Mr. Wright, seems to make sense to me. Sounds like a reasonable deduction, but I still kind of wonder. I want to say it's the dagger. But I don't know if we can... try to say this, but that interpretation would create an enormous contradiction. That makes sense. After all, my deductions are almost certainly never correct. At least he said it, not me. Remember the testimony she just gave. Before the killer let out a scream, Maya said she had already been splattered by the victim's blood. In other words, the blade and the staff had already been plunged into the victim. Ah, is that right? He couldn't have struck back with a sword that was already stuck in her body. The weapon that caused the killer to let out a scream must have been something other than the staff. If you're so sure about that, then don't keep us waiting any longer. If you're so sure about that, then don't keep us waiting any longer, Trey. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. There's only one thing I can think of. It had been used as the weapon here. Dahlia Hawthorne had already been stabbed in the back by the staff. What is the only other bladed instrument that you have in your journal that doesn't have the blood of the victim on it? Naturally, the dagger the killer brought to the scene of the crime. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. This dagger was found at the crime scene, stuck into a pine tree. Yes. Yeah, the detective found that this morning and brought it to me. Excuse me. Dahlia Hawthorne struck back at the killer with this, and she managed to wound him as well. Just because he let out a scream doesn't mean that he was wounded. For all we know, the blood on the dagger could have been from the victim. No, it can't be. We got that report earlier. Have you forgotten that the blood has already been tested? Since we learned it wasn't the victim's blood, it must be the killer's blood. The killer must have a wound somewhere in his body, probably in the facial region that could be covered by a mask. So you're saying the blood on this dagger belongs to the killer? Exactly. The DNA analysis of the blood would prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. And yes, Mr. Godot, it would prove that it's your blood. It's serious, right? Literally, we could just test the blood. He's like, nah. Order in the court. Is this the end? Have I done it? Even he won't be able to change the results of a scientific test. Ever since I came back from that coma, I don't have blood. Only coffee pumps through these veins. Let me ask you something, Trent. Let's just say that it turned out I was the killer. Do you really think I would be stupid enough to leave evidence like that? What? Just think for a second. This dagger was found this morning by a detective and brought to me. There's already blood on it, correct? But even so, I was the one who brought this dagger here to the courtroom. Yes, what does that prove? Well, if I really were the killer, I could have washed the blade off and planted another person's blood on it. That's... can't be. In any case, there's one thing I can guarantee, Trey. That blood doesn't belong to me. Not a chance. Okay, well, you can't prove it was me. I would have tampered with the evidence. Well, crap, then. In any event, it seems to be established that the killer was wounded. Alright then, witness, continue your testimony. Wait a minute. What's the problem? I know I probably shouldn't say this, but there's a big contradiction in Nick's explanation. This dagger, you said that it wounded the killer. That's right. But, if Mr. Godot had really been cut with the dagger, his clothes should be bloody or have a rip in them, right? Because he never changes his clothes, ever. Maya, Maybe he just changed his clothes. That'd solve the contradiction pretty easily. What are you talking about? It's not that simple at all. Remember back to the day of the murder. Everyone that was on the inner temple side got trapped in there. Ah, that's right. Once the bridge was fixed and the police headed for the inner temple, Mr. Godot was already there waiting for them. He never had a chance to change his clothes. Oh, yeah. Maya with the good comeback. Maya also needs to stop trying to protect him, but like, he got me. Well, maybe he brought a change of clothes with him. But no one could have predicted the lightning strike that shut down the bridge. Why would anyone have brought a change of clothes? The judge just takes smart pills during the last recess. Well then, maybe the killer took off his clothes before they committed the murder. That way he wouldn't get any blood on them. Impossible, Trent. You know how cold it gets up in there at night. After a few minutes of no clothes on, you'd be frozen solid. Unless you were chugging hot coffee. That's all you've got? I knew you weren't tough enough to finish this. We've proven beyond any reasonable human being's shadow of a doubt that it was you. And if it was any other judge, this would be done already. What do you mean that's all you've got? Right now, Mia Fey were here. Mia Fey were here. She would have closed the book in this case already. Mia Fey were here. Come on, Wright. Can you do it or not? How about it, Mr. Wright? You've accused Mr. Godot of being the killer, and you've supplied, let's say, 50 pieces of evidence. And he's gone, yeah, I admit to all of that, but nuh-uh. What do you have to say about that, Phoenix? But can you prove it? Have you got even one piece of evidence? Question isn't whether I can prove it or not. The fact is, I have to prove it. That's the only choice I have. I was taught that it's one of the rules of being a lawyer. I can prove it. Going to bring your magnificent vengeance to fruition, just as you want it. Huh, that's good. Fight till the bitter end, right? Since there's just one piece of evidence that can prove your point, why don't we go for the ultimate unlimited penalty? Well, we only have 3 HP left anyway, so who cares? You're trying to pressure me, Mr. Godot. Because it doesn't matter to me. I've got the one piece of evidence I need. Give me a break. You've got nothing, Trey. So what do I do at a time like this? It's simple. Gotta think outside the box and approach this from a different angle. Yeah, this is how courts work, obviously, huh? Also, hey, Rose, how's it going? Welcome to Viper in the chat. Good for this part. Yeah, I would assume, correct. But I don't. I get it, that it's the final bit of the final case. The stakes are higher than they can be. I get it. But it's funny that I only have 3 left, and like that's been the case for a while now. Alright then, Mr. Wright, let's hear what you've got. One thing I've demonstrated in the previous cross-examination. Killer was wounded. That was proven by the blood on the dagger. But we decided it was impossible for him to have hidden such a wound. If he had been cut by a dagger, there should have been a bloodstain on his clothing. It's one place. One place the killer could have hidden his wound. What did he say? Hidden. This is it. My last stand. I need to think about this from a different angle. It's in his underwear. Make him take off his underwear in court. Humiliate him into leaving the prosecutor's office. Don't need to think about why there were no bloodstains on his clothing. I need to show how he hid the wound. End of the line. Final stop, right? Here what you got. Where is this location where you say the killer hid his wound? Oh. I My assumption was behind the mask, but all jokes aside, if that's not it, then... Double pass it on for murder charges. Yeah, of course. Not the stone lantern. No. No. That hasn't really come up, but I don't think that... It's suspicious because I don't think it's come up, but I don't think anything else of it. No. I thought I knew. I mean, showing him doesn't really show it. Like, I could be like, I mean his mask, but like that's... I don't know if that necessarily follows game logic. Glad I saved. I know it's wrong, but I'm gonna do this because my gut says it's the mask, and I'm like, I am really doubting myself now, but I'm gonna go with my gut first. And we're gonna lose it. Don't know what you're talking about. Frankly, don't need to know. Yep. You notice that you'll never be half the lawyer she was. Yep. Is that right, right? What was that just now? Yeah? You can't be. You're living on. Through him. Even as we speak. You're still hiding the wound. Oh, was I actually right? Come on. It's beneath your mask. I was so ready to be like, damn, wrong one, restart. During the fight, the red lights given off by the killer suddenly disappeared. Seconds later, the killer let out a scream. That's right, your mask went flying off your face. They stopped the music to make you late to make you second guess yourself. Yo. That's right, your mask went flying off your face. Mr. Godot, would you mind removing your mask? If you have a dagger wound under there somewhere, I'd say this whole case is solved. Oh, that's, I don't think the mask is supposed to do that. It seems to be a mild malfunction. Just explodes. Ah, the trick worked too. I immediately second-guessed myself. Well, I was second-guessing myself before I even hit it. Just now. Saw her spirit in you. Never liked you. 6 years ago, you helped the woman who put me to sleep by hiding her bottle of poison. And then, while I was sleeping, you let Mia die. Yeah, sure, okay, whatever. You didn't care, just kept living your pathetic, happy-go-lucky life. You even had the nerve to follow in her footsteps as a lawyer. I never forgive you, I thought. Mr. Godot. But I was wrong about you. Knew it from the very beginning. Truth is, the only person I could never find it in my heart to forgive was Maya! It was me, yeah. No, you were projecting. Yeah. You, yourself, was the one that failed to protect Mia. Me and no one else. I had to avert my eyes from the truth to escape from the harshness of reality. I just couldn't face Mia's death head on, so I ran. Hid behind a mask, threw away my true name. Couldn't even deal with being in a defense attorney anymore, so I quit. But you saved Maya! Yeah, that was my plan. Up until just now, anyway. What do you mean? You listening, Maya? I really wanted to save you. There's one person that I should have gone and talked to right away. Who would that be? You talking about Nick? But I didn't do it. I had to get the help of Iris and your mother. I closed my eyes to the most important man involved. You know why? The real reason? No, why? Suppose I wasn't really interested in saving you at all. I think I was just trying to salvage what's left of my own broken soul. Just trying to make up for the fact that I couldn't save Mia, nothing more. So I let you walk right into a situation that I knew was dangerous. Forgive me. You're wrong. You put your life on the line to save Maya. Was it really for Maya's sake? Even I'm not really sure. What do you mean by that? That night in the darkness of the garden when I saw her silhouette. They must have known the truth. The truth that it wasn't really a Dahlia Hawthorne standing there in front of me. Could have been Misty Faye, or even that little girl. I still picked up the blade, like I was dreaming. Wait, he wields a one-handed longsword with a lightning element? Godot is Kaikisk. Not sure exactly what was going on in my mind at that point. Was I really motivated by the pure desire to protect Maya Faye? Or was it something else? Was it my hatred for a woman who had stolen everything from me 6 years earlier? Could it have been simply a desire for revenge? And now, I don't know anything anymore. Did learn something today, however. Finally realized that I was the arrogant one. I was just chasing an illusion, a fantasy. The stupid fantasy of defeating you in the courtroom. You were the one who made me realize my folly. You never ran away from Mia's death. Instead, you picked up where she left off. As a true defender of the people. In one moment, I understood everything. Mr. Godot. I think you already know this, but if you don't, my name is Diego Armando. Mr. Armando, I believe in you. I know you were trying to save me. Thanks. Your wound, it's bleeding. Did you forget already? In my world, color red doesn't exist. These must be my tears. Tears? Ever since I woke up from my coma. I think I've been waiting for this very moment. Mr. Armando. Too well to remember this, Maya. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. This time, it really is all over, isn't it? Defendant? Yes, Your Honor. Although you weren't directly involved in the murder, tampering with the body and the crime scene is a serious offense in itself. I understand, Your Honor. Mr. Armando explained that to me very carefully. Sorry. I knew the risk and I willingly cooperated anyway. Very well. Before I hand down my verdict, is there anything you'd like to say? Well, there's one thing. I'd like to say something to Mr. Wright. I want to apologize to you. Apologize? To me? For what? For the case 5 years ago. Of course. Just remembered. Weren't you poisoned by your own lover? Not exactly, but yeah, something like that. Even now, 5 years later, I can hardly believe it. She was going to do it. She was planning to kill me. It's not all that surprising. Two of you hardly knew each other. Huh? What do you mean? You and my sister. You only met twice. Huh? We only met twice? First time you met was that fateful day. The day she poisoned Mr. Armando in the cafeteria of this very courthouse. Next time you met her was 8 months later. You met her again on the day that she stole your cold medicine. And Doug Swallow was killed. No way. It can't be true. I mean, during our whole relationship, we were... It was 8 months. The woman that you thought was Dahlia Hawthorne wasn't actually my sister. Huh? It wasn't Dahlia! I hope one day you can forgive me. Eenie. You mean... That's right. I lied to you for 8 months. And apparently dyed your hair. But why? Why would you... Well, I can only assume the reason she would do such a thing is because Dahlia Hawthorne would have killed him by day 2, because that's all she does is have hatred and death in her heart, and she needed to string along a guy, and I don't think she could have done it convincingly. I think she would have killed him immediately. Ever since she gave you that bottle that day, my sister was trying to get it back as soon as she possibly could, because of the police investigation and their surveillance. She couldn't move about freely. So that's why you... my sister... From the beginning, she was prepared for the worst. Prepared for the worst? She thought that you might somehow discover the truth. That's why she was always ready to deal with you at a moment's notice. I mean, she was ready to kill me, don't you? Yes! She already had so much to answer for. I didn't want any more sins on her soul. I begged her not to do it, and she agreed to give me a chance. That's why you came to me? You came to get the bottle pendant back from me in her place. I couldn't get you to give it back. I failed at something even as simple as that. 8 months passed and I still couldn't get it back from you. Finally, my sister couldn't wait any longer. She didn't consult me about her plans for you that day. It's the first time that it had ever happened. That was a bit strange, wasn't it? Up until that day, you two were partners in crime, and she would confer with you. I think she must have noticed. Noticed what? My feelings for you? I found out she was planning to kill you. Would have done whatever was necessary to stop her, even if it meant her life. Or mine. Iris! After spending those 8 months by your side, my feelings towards you, they changed. Something to say to you too. Yes? You're the other person I always thought you were. Even after Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty, I still believed in you. Thank you. Godot looking pretty pleased for a man who's about to be convicted of murder. How many cups of darkness have I drank over the years? Even I don't know. Tell you though, right now, this one here's the greatest cup I think I've ever had. Sorry, that was actually way wrong. Don't you think so, Phoenix Wright? Yeah, I think you're right. The purpose of this trial was to rule on the murder of the victim, at least do nothing. At some point, I expect you will be tried for your role as an accomplice in this case. I understand, Your Honor. Very well. On the charge of murder, I hereby find the defendant not guilty. Yay. Court is now adjourned. Do we not get the... No... Okay. Alright. February 10th, 4:51 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1. I guess it's all over. The way everything ended was justice really served? I mean, that's true, yeah. But she's still not guilty of murder. The man who risked his life to save Maya is being sent to prison by my own hand. Of course, justice was served. Mia! Proud of you, Phoenix. Your defense was truly brilliant. But I couldn't save Mr. Armando, the man who cared so deeply for you. You're wrong, Phoenix. You did save Diego. You saved him in the only way possible. You mean, that verdict? I think one day you'll understand too. Phoenix, I want you to remember one thing. You were as good out there today as any defense attorney could ever hope to be. There's nothing more you can learn from me. Mia, accomplished something I wasn't able to do. I owe you a great deal. Thank you. Sure we'll meet again someday, Phoenix. Handled lots of cases and seen a lot of things. And along this journey I found myself asking just one question. What does it really mean to defend someone? Suppose today's case produced one possible answer. Nick. Maya. Guess it's just like my sis said. Mia? What did she say? That night, when I channeled Mia to get her advice on what to do, this is what she wrote back in my notebook. Don't worry, Phoenix will save everyone in the end. But, come on, cut it out with that gloomy face. Can't you see? Me, sis, and I'm sure Iris too. We owe you for everything you've done for us, Nick. To a ghost. You know, she was possessing the body of a 8-year-old. Whatever, it's fine. Totally fine. Maya, how can you be so bright and chipper after all that's happened? You were brutally attacked. You even saw your mother murdered. Ouch! What are you still doing here? Go home! Leave! Francisca, still as softy as always, Phoenix Wright. Excellent work, Wright. Huh? Mr. Edgeworth? When did you get back? Oh, that's right. I guess no one filled in on that. Edgeworth and Francisca have actually been helping me. Helping you? These two hadn't been here on the first day of the trial. The defense wouldn't have gotten anywhere. Wow. Where were you, Nick? I caught a cold. I fell from a burning bridge into an icy, swift-moving, pitch-black river in the middle of a thunderstorm in a brutally cold winter's night. And I was perfectly fine, but I had sniffles the next day. Freaking Phoenix, man. Yes, max defense, not status resist. I heard he fell into a river and caught a nasty cold, which forced him to sleep all day. Yes, he laid in bed shivering from his fever with Iris's hood pulled over his head. Oh, ouch. Talk about embarrassing, Nick. You definitely were training. Imagine somebody falling from a burning bridge that was struck by lightning, dropped who knows how far, into a rushing ice-cold pitch-black river, only getting the sniffles from it and having your best friend go, wow, that must have been really embarrassing for you. Not, holy crap, how are you alive? I'm so glad. But like, that must have sucked. You'll never live that down. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. And you too, Francisco. I don't suppose... the butts. There's room for me in this group hug, is there? Oh, Larry! What's with the longer than usual face? I realized something when I was reborn. I realized that Larry was never of any use to anyone, not even once. That's not true, right, Nick? What? You're asking me? Well, Nick, is it true? Got a place in this world, right? Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. I knew it. Everyone would be better off if I was gone for good. No. Oh, yeah. Those portraits you painted, they were really good. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? What? Me? Why are you making that face, Haiji? Yes, indeed. I certainly can't say that they lack resemblance. Do you really mean it? What about you, Francie? Did I draw you well, too? Beauty can't possibly be captured by a mere crayon. Nevertheless, I recognize the effort you put into it, and that's worth something. Wow, actually melted a bit under the stare of Maya. So then you'll do it, like you promised? You're going to model for my next picture book. Francie's whippity whip foot. Don't get carried away. Oh, that would be a bestseller. Well, how about that? Guess painting portraits is the only thing I'm good at. Painting a pearl is pretty darn good too, if you ask me. Now that you mention it, I haven't seen her around. Pearls? Where'd she have gone? Normally she would have made a beeline for Maya. Oh, I'll go look for her. Be right back. Also, she was literally here. They possessed, but, you know, here. Hey, Pearly. That's a perfectly normal book name. It's just, not just perfectly normal. That's a bestseller right there. Illustrated guide? Yeah. Right. You seem to be uncharacteristically puzzled. Suspect you're wondering how Maya can be so cheerful despite all that has happened. Yeah. To be honest, I can't understand it either. But Siska. That's right. She lost her father fairly recently as well. I can understand how she feels. Maya is a much wiser person than she appears, and I think she realized something. Now is exactly the time when she needs to be as strong as she can. What do you mean by now is exactly the time? Maya wasn't the only one that was badly wounded by this incident. In fact, there was someone that was hurt far more deeply than she. I believe it's for that person that Maya is trying her best not to cry. Someone who was hurt more deeply than Maya? Edgeworth. I think I'm starting to understand too. Ow! Tell me, Phoenix Wright, who is Maya Fey being strong for? The butts. I mean, it's gotta be Pearls. Pearl Fey? Poor kid. After all, the reason that she worked so hard to follow the instructions is because she loved and believed in her mother, Morgan. It's for the good of the Fey clan. I'm sure she believed in every last word. She thought she was doing it for Maya. That's why she was so happy. Shows how truly devoted she is to Maya. It's a cruel irony that it was her exuberance that led to this tragedy. Maya Fey's mother was killed, and Maya herself was put into the deepest peril imaginable. Exactly why Maya is putting on a brave face. She's doing it for Pearl's sake. Till she can see her smile again. Is this the first unimportant piece of evidence at the end of one of these games that I've gotten right? Am I finally 1 for 3? Do I finally have a winning record? Oh, hey, so this is where you all were. Wow, looks like we got quite the bunch here today. What was that for, sir? Sorry about that, Scruffy. My whip just seems to have a mind of its own. What's up, Detective Gumshoe? Oh, you know, this and that. Anyway, congrats on your win. Let's go out tonight, pal. Dinner's on me. I don't... No, Gumshoe. My salary's just sort of kind of gone down by a teeny bit. But it's alright. Oh, Gumshoe, how? Made reservations at a first-class French restaurant and, please don't spend every cent you've ever earned. Ah! Good work, Scruffy. That whip was your reward. Thanks, Francisca. Detective Gumshoe, you said a first-class French restaurant. You don't mean... Très bien. Where else? I knew it. We're doomed. Come on, let's go, everyone. Can't keep Maggie waiting, pal. Hey, you, Crybaby, you're invited too. Forget about me. Pearl and I will be at the loser's shack eating potatoes. You know, Maya's taking an awfully long time to get back. She's still out looking for pearls. Oh, Maya, what's wrong? Nick, what do I do? Pearly, can't find her anywhere. What, like, when she unchanneled Mia, did we just not notice that she vanished? Huh? Oh, see, she's, it's all fine. Nobody's gonna, what are you gonna do? Go up to her and be like, ma'am, you're assaulting people. Then you're gonna get a whip to the face. Nobody's gonna do that. Guess she just went back home, that's all. Thought so too, so I called the village, but no one has heard from her. This had never happened before. As I figured, she has been badly hurt by this incident. feels responsible. She feels responsible for the tragedy that has befallen you, Maya. But none of this was her fault. What should I do? Detective Gumshoe. Yeah, what is it, pal? Could you guys go on ahead? But what about you? Maya and I will join you guys once we find pearls. Nick. Don't worry about us, Detective Gumshoe. We may be a little late, but we'll definitely be there. We have a lot of celebrating to do tonight, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. Yeah, but you're the... Yeah. Very well, Phoenix Wright. We'll go on ahead. Don't keep us waiting, Wright. We won't. But where should we look? Where could Pearlie have gone? Let's go, Maya. There's only one place I can think that pearls might have gone to. Oh, don't make me pick it. I don't know. February 10th, Hazakura Temple Main Gate. Hazakura Temple? Pearls, I bet this is a very important place. After all, it's where this whole incident started. What's this? What's this? You're all back again so soon! Sister Bikini, I thought we'd be eating mashed potatoes alone tonight. So she's here. Pearlie is here? She's in the training hall. Why don't you hurry along and go see her? Okay. Ah, she cleaned the scroll. Pearlie's not here. Ah, Maya, the hanging scroll. Someone cleaned it off. It's gotta be pearls. Ah, Mystic Maya. Pearls, why? Why did you just leave like that? Mystic Maya. Also, how did you get here? This place isn't close by, right? Like, this is up in the mountains. Like, I'm way more curious about the how than the why. I swore that I would never trouble the two of you again, because it's all my fault that Mystic Maya's mother. That's what you came here? The least I could do for your happiness. Clearly a short run. You don't have to do that, Pearlie. It wasn't your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Of course, I'm sad that my mother is gone, but how do I say this? I'm still happy. You don't have to lie just to make me feel better. No, really. True. The only reason I'm still here is all thanks to everyone who's there for me. My sis, my mother, Mr. Armando, Nick, and you. Even one of you weren't there. I'm sure I wouldn't still be alive right now. That's why I have to be strong. For all the people that were there for me when I needed them. That's all I can really do. Mystic Maya. I am impressed. You truly are the daughter of Mystic Misty. Sister Bikini! Your mother, Mystic Misty, was a strong woman indeed. I wanted to tell you what she said to me that night. No recollection of the voice I gave her. After dishonoring the good name of Kurian, I don't have the right to face my daughter. But still, Maya is always in my thoughts. It's true. She'll always be with me until the day I die. Your spirit was with her. That's why your mother was so strong. Even at the end, I'm sure she had no regrets. She'll always be with me until the day I die, huh? It's a rule or something. All masters are to follow, isn't it? To never take the charm off until the day you die. It's the master's talisman. The thing that Misty kept by her heart and would never take off. It wasn't the container that was important. Rather, it was the contents. That's... a photo. A photo. Ah. Mother. It's only natural for living creatures to fight to protect their own lives, but what makes us human is that we fight for others. Who do you fight for? How hard must you fight? That's the true measure of what human life is worth. We defense attorneys are warriors who are constantly challenged by that question. Even when the battle is over and the bonds that connect us are severed, we always return time and time again. Mia, Maya, Pearls, Mr. Armando, and Maya's mother, too. I learned that from all of them. I feel like that vase has been broken quite a few times. I feel like every child, every sibling pair of that household that's passed through has broken that vase. Well, shall we get going? Everyone's waiting. It is, but like, it's still clearly very important. Yeah, it's a family tradition, but it's a family tradition that everybody hides. This is the day to remember, a day when a lot of things were finally put to rest. I think we should celebrate what we've overcome today. But I still can't. Oh, go on, sweetie. You can come back for training anytime. Okay. Alright, going to make a brand new start too. Sister Bikini, I'll be back for more training. I promise. I know, and I won't go easy on you just because you're the future master. I'll make sure to prepare reservations for 3 for when you come back. Alright, going to have a great feast today, Pearl. You know why? Because training is a battle of endurance. Okay, Mystic Maya, I'll eat lots and lots of food tonight. You know, it's one thing I don't get. You probably don't want to, but what is it, Nick? Reservations for training is fine and all. Why for 3? Come on, what do you think? One of us, Nick. Next time, you can train right alongside us, but I don't have any spiritual power, huh? I'll be waiting for you. Sister Bikini will take special care of you. Huh? That'd be great, Nick. Can I request that Iris take special care of me instead? Going to do the special course, naturally. Huh? That's a great idea. After all, Mr. Nick, you'd do anything for Mystic Maya, wouldn't you? Even walk on hot coals, right? We'll have a nice big meal before we come next time, right, Nick? You know, I was wondering if I could say just one little thing. Sure, of course you can. Oh, I love this part. I can't wait to hear it. Getting goosebumps, too. Well then, here goes nothing. Yeah. No! We have finished the OG trilogy. You can kinda tell that it was very much... Really have to work extra. Master Curry and the office manager, Wright and co-law offices. And I have to be a good big sister to Pearlie and Nick, too. Well, as long as I'm not locked up or captured or something like that. You can kind of tell this was kind of to wrap up the trilogy, for sure. They've clearly made more since then, but like, this very much has that vibe of like, this is the big finale. So it's true, Mr. Nicky, but he went through with the special course all the way to the end. Actually, I heard there's a legendary extra special ultra course here too. I think I'll surprise the two of them by making them a secret resident. You're gonna kill them! They're going to die. Maggie brought me a brand new coat as a present, pal. Feel 10 years younger. I'll never take it off. Yes, but somehow you just don't seem the same. Guess a dirty, shabby old overcoat is just more detective-like, sir. Don't worry about it. In the name of love, a man will soil himself. Silly. In the name of love, I will soil the hell out of this coat. Mr. Wright, I am once again in your debt. Thanks to you, the Treasures of Currian exhibit was a great success. I even got to see Miss Von Karma, who I hadn't seen for almost a year. She taught me how to use a whip and said that I must show you what I've learned. Oh no! No, why? Desi and I started a company called Master Mask Consulting. We're dedicated to stopping the evil plans of all the criminals in the city. Our motto is, cut it out, please! Pretty cute, huh? Well, we also sell plans to the criminals as a kind of side business. Wonder if that's okay. Sometimes I think maybe we're the worst criminals. I wanted to show my appreciation to Mr. Wright for exterminating Don Tigre, so I lent him 500,000 and a tea set. Special thick tea when I mixed with my own 2 hands. I bet he's drinking it now. We went through compromise. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. And in massive debt. Actually, the debt might be the only reason he's alive. Yeah. I'm just old and in the way. A wrinkly, grumpy, clown-nosed waste of flesh. At least, that's what I thought. My grandkids had a birthday party for me the other day. Talk about embarrassing. 69 nice, and I cried like a baby with a dirty diaper. As usual, we have an abundance of work to do. We've hired a new programmer to replace Glenn Elk. I do hope everyone will get along. His name is Adam Nada. As soon as I heard his name, I knew our brain circuits would align perfectly. I 1,000,000% expected Larry Butts. 1,000,000%. I was like, it's gonna be Larry. It's gonna be Larry. It's the Butts. It's the Butts. Would have been wrong, but like, my, more reporters. Since the murder, we've made so much money, I hardly know what to do. I think the magazines like us because I provide such a nice visual, especially in spring. I can hardly wait for Iris to come back. Turned into such a respectable man, Feeny. It was so sweet of you and everyone else to come and visit me here the other day. Of course, I was happy that you constantly had your eyes on me, but I felt kind of bad when the little ones slapped you so hard you got a nosebleed. Yeah, that checks out. 100%. Yeah, I mean, we're committing, but we're taking the break for another Shu Takumi game in the meantime, before we continue on. I've heard nothing but good things about Ghost Trick, so I am very excited. Not that I heard anything bad about the OG Phoenix Wright trilogy, this has been great, but I'm really excited for Ghost Trick. I've heard very, very good things, and it was always one I wanted to play and just never had a chance to, so. I don't know yet, Ramen. I know for sure it's going to be Ghost Trick, Great Ace Attorney. We'll probably fit something in there between Great Ace Attorney and the Apollo just to space it out, but I don't know what it'll be yet. But I'm for sure going to do those. We're committed now. What's this? I'm back from a long and tiring vacation. No one's here to greet me. I guess while I was gone, my little whippersnapper buddy quit, and now I've got no one. What kind of lonely, crazy security room is this supposed to be anyway? What with all the flashing lights and switches, I feel like some sort of space alien. And now what am I going to do with all these macadamia nuts I bought back for everyone? If I bring them over to Edgy Poo, I know exactly what to say. I really can't accept these, I'm afraid. Or something that's just painful and fragile to my fragile heart. Will I ever find a gentleman? Damn it, I can't. It's too much. She's too much. Damn old bag. Finally found something I love to do. Franzie's Whippity Whip Trip is going to turn the art world on its head. Should have realized it sooner. Self-centered, lazy, antisocial. I'm an artist. A really good portrait artist. I'm not a loser after all. So, I always forget Shinji Mikami is executive producer on these. Always forget about that. Good final art. Alright, a lawyer only cries once it's all over. Clear all of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy. Hell yeah. Presumably that means we got the platinum? Yeah. 45 minutes left. I'm just gonna cut it here. We've cut it earlier for times, but like we did it. We did the thing. I saw a tweet the other day. There's a lot of the quote this tweet with like your favorite like of this fandom tweet, and there was an Ace Attorney one I saw. I'm gonna have to paraphrase it, but it's like, man, I would love it if there was a game out there that was just full of just like gays and lesbians, and there was just one straight dude, one overly comedically straight dude. I don't know, probably named Larry or something, and it just has a picture of Larry Butts underneath it, and it's like, considering how hard people ship Phoenix and Edgeworth, I feel like comedically, it's a good tweet. It's a good tweet. Just the one stereotypical straight guy, and like, it would be Larry. It would sure be Larry Butts, especially in the first two games. The third one, no, in the third one too. Let's be honest. I don't know what the future holds for the series. I do hope that Phoenix and Iris end up together. As much as Pearls will kill him if he doesn't end up with Maya, I always kind of like view Phoenix and Maya as more like friends. Or he ends up with Edgeworth. If that happens too, cool. But they seem to be leaning into the Iris thing, and I feel like that could work. Now that all the cards are on the table, the truth is laid out, I feel like that could work. I don't see him romantically with Maya. I think they make a great duo, just not a romantic one, and that's perfectly fine. If he ends up romantically with Edgeworth, that's fine too. They've dropped, there's enough subtle hints that it's like, yeah, that works. I think Pearls will kill him though. Oh, I'm sure, yeah. I know it's different. The only thing I really know about it is there's a DLC where you get to have a whale on the stand. And I've heard Afro's not a big fan of that trilogy, and it's specifically because of the way they initially handle Phoenix in that trilogy to make Apollo look better. So I know that may not be the favorite part of that second trilogy. Yeah, we'll see. Like, those are the only things I know. One is a fact and one is an opinion. It is a fact that there will be a whale on a stand in one of the DLC. That is factual. So, a bit decisive. Fair enough, yeah. And I'll wait to see when I get there, which will be a little ways away, because again, Ghost Trick starting next weekend. Yeah, for sure. Like, it sounds like it. Absolutely. Ghost Trick starting next Sunday. When that's finished, we're going to hit the Great Ace Detective. Just because I've had that ready and going and hyped up for myself for a while. Theoretically, we should do Apollo next because it came out. But I've been saying Great Ace Attorney, and I want to do Great Ace Attorney next. So I'm going to. Who cares if we do it out of order? I don't give a damn. Unless there's something in Great Ace Attorney that spoils the other games, and I can't imagine they'd do that. It's so separate, so different. Then we'll probably do some other game as just another buffer, and then Apollo. Now that they're all out and readily available, why not? I want to play them. I'm having a good time, so yeah. For the week, Monday, tomorrow we're doing Blaze Blue. Not Blaze Blue. Wow. Grand Blue. Wrong Blue. I don't even have... Well, I do have Blaze Blue, but you know what I mean. Grand Blue. Tuesday's going to be Yakuza. Thursday's going to be Yakuza. Friday's going to be a card stream. Friday's when the Chainsaw Man cards come out, and I might go a little on those. I'm debating whether after that we do... I think after that I'll probably just do something where we can like keep song requests going or something like that, maybe like Path of Exile or something like that, and then Saturday do Grand Blue again instead of half-assing a Grand Blue day, just move it to the next day, and then Sunday will be Ghost Trick. Oh wait, Saturday is the 20th, isn't it? No, it's 17th. I got my days wrong. Tuesday the 20th, we might not do Grand Blue Relink. We might do Grand Blue Rising, because 2B might be there. So we'll see. Relink Knights get SRs. Once it gets to the point where we're just grinding quests, like right now I dig the music, and I'm happy to leave it open. But like if it gets to the point where we're just grinding the same handful of missions, sure, I'm down for that. Right now I'm leaving it on, at least for like the end of this week, for sure. I feel like we're new enough to the end game that like I'm still finding new music there and enjoying it, but like, yes, if it continues on, we will definitely get to a point where I will turn SRs on. We don't have enough of those lately, and that's a good place to fit it, I think. So yeah. Yes, but not yet. Those tricks can be great. Got that loaded and ready on the PS5. Same with Great Ace Attorney. Those are already they're not like big files, like they're already loaded, they're ready. Been ready to go for a while. That's what we got. Obviously, we got big extra hunk of shoutouts. Oh, damn it, my list is broken. Hold on. Other list. We got Jude dropping their 71-month resubscription, and everyone in chat hanging out, having a good time, hopefully enjoying some courtroom antics. And yeah, 90 hours. Oh, does it show over here? Yeah, 89 hours. Yep. It's a trilogy, man. It's a long trilogy. Gotta sell some monster. Quote, Discord, and of course,
Objection!
the house coming out now. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching. This has been Viper of Viperland. I'll see you all next time.
Oh hey, it's hot garbage.
Beep.